Hello, everybody. This is Paul Plana, and I have Yash here as well. We are now live. This is Artistly V6, okay? The sixth version update to Artistly that we've made, the most exciting update we've ever made. Why? Let's jump in right now. So, you see there, I have feature two. I'll talk about the feature number one at the end. So, the first thing that we've done is we've reworked the entire platform to fix all the bugs, the pending issues, stuff like that you've been noticing, you've been mentioning to us in our Facebook group, customer support desk, everywhere. But also we've added some brand new features. The first one, you can see, I'll talk about them in detail. Okay. After Yash will explain them in step by step as well. We'll answer some questions, but this is just a quick overview of what we've added. All right. Among other things. So script to storybook with multi-character consistency is what we brought in to Artistly. So what does that mean exactly? Now you can have up to 4 characters. So one of the things with storybooks in the past was, say, for example, you wanted to create a storybook, consistency of the character throughout. Sometimes one or two images, like the beard would be gone, or let's say, for example, the t-shirt color might change. That's a good thing. We fix that, of course. We'll show you that as we go along. Secondly, you can do multiple characters, not just one or two, now up to 4. Nowhere else can you do this right now. Secondly, the other thing is the quality is also substantially improved. We'll get to that. Next, we have personalized child hero storybooks. This is a brand new feature, never existed before. What this effectively means, you see this photo of this child here, okay? You can upload any child's photo, right? And then make them their own lead character in that story. This is my favorite feature in terms of the father, right? I have like now just about a year-old baby. And one of the things that I want to do is not have them be in front of devices, right? One of the most frustrating things is trying to get them away from iPads and phones and stuff like that. And I'm sure every parent, grandparent might be having that same thing. We want to make them active, engage their mind. So what I've been training my baby is basically trying to get him, right, to actually read books. One of the things that he would always say is, I want you, dad or mom, and me to be in the character. So he just keeps pointing, right? Because he can recognize him and the faces of people. So what we did here is that now you can upload a photo, and then you can get them in to be the lead character of a story. You can direct the story too. We're going to talk about that as we go along as well. The idea here is that once you can do that, you have, in my case, what I've seen is after we tested this feature in my own household, now my baby, he keeps coming, right? My son keeps coming and giving me the books. Can you read this? Can you read this? And that's the most exciting thing for me as a parent, because that means, in other words, whatever I'm doing is making a real world impact, right? What we're doing in Artistic is actually having a real world impact in my household. And I'm sure it must be the case for everybody. So it's exciting. It's not just something that you can publish on Kindle or whatever, right? Etsy, whatever, and generate revenue, but also impacts lives. That's great for me personally. And this is a brand new feature. We'll get to that in just a second. And then we've also done image to color book conversion. Okay. So what this is effectively you can turn an image into a coloring outline. We've made it much better. It's like one click now. You don't have to do any prompting, any of that mumbo jumbo stuff. And you can actually create activity books as well. This is another cool thing that has a lot of value. And we'll get to the second part. This is for children's stuff. What about adults? A lot of adults like adult coloring books as well, right? So we've also done adult coloring books. These are a little bit different from kids in that they're more intricate patterns and designs, shapes and that sort of thing. And adult coloring books is the hottest trend right now in Amazon Kindle and other places, because you want to basically have people have challenging work. We want to move away from devices, and we want to move into a more traditional way of having fun. And that's a big trend right now. I know for a fact I'm trying to get away from devices as much as possible myself. And then we've also done sketch to 3D rendering. So let's say you have a sketch which is like blurry or whatever like this, or one of interior design work. This is also another thing as well that we've done. There are some other features as well we'll be getting along as we go along. Like we've updated the photo restoration feature. We've updated the human stylizer feature, which is one of the most highly used feature. And also there's a secret feature. Remember I said feature 1? Well, I'll close that loop once Yash finishes the demos of that. Why that is the most exciting feature in terms of the complexity of it that we've ever built. Okay, I'm gonna get back to that one secret feature for you just to keep things fun here. Okay, you can keep asking any questions you have in the chat box. We'll do step-by-step overview of every single feature that we have here, okay? Including some unique nuances, some updates we made as well, we'll talk about as well. So, Yash, without any further delay, let's get rolling. And yes, we'll have a replay for this. And yes, the beauty of this update is that we can now go beyond just focusing on some consistency of character or whatever, but now focus on your feature request because we perfected the most challenging things with AI, right? Text, consistency of characters, like adult coloring books, putting 4 consistent characters, quality of the images, all these little details, right? Once you perfect the basics and the foundations, then you can focus on, like, for example, I want folder structure. I want this additional thing in the application where, the UI is a little bit finicky. Can you change the UI a little bit? Those are what we're going to be focusing on going forward, which is the most exciting thing because you have some stuff that'll be super, super exciting. So yeah, you can share your screen right now and get rolling here.
All right, so you can keep sharing that thing while I check my mic. Hi, everyone. I'm super excited to share every feature. I know, just like you, I am also excited to share all the new updates and everything. And we'll get into your questions right away after I finish the step-by-step version. So I hope I'm audible, right, Paul? Everything looks good? Awesome. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to just share my screen now. So now let's look at how you can actually take your script or your story and create it into multiple consistent character storybook in just one click. You're gonna love this, right? And I'm most excited about this feature, honestly. So there are 2 ways you can do it, right? I'll share the first way and then later I'll show the second way, right? First way is very simple. You go to design agents. You again, right? This is a multi-character storybook. We just pushed it with the V6 upgrade, as a beta feature, as I already explained. By the time this feature would come to you, it would be already 1.5 months already. But we changed our approach. We're directly giving you all the access instantly for absolutely free. It's almost ready, right? It's almost perfect, but there will be some keys and all that, some errors or some feedback, something that we can fix, right? So with that, we can make it perfect. But instead of you waiting for months to get this, with this our new approach, with this instant beta feature launch to everyone loved it though, so we started doing it. And with this V6, it's now in your account for absolutely free. That allows you to basically convert your script, your story, with multiple consistent characters. You can go up to 2-3 characters, right? It's really, really good, right? So check this out. You click on multi-character storybook. Simple. You click on new story, and all you gotta do is just paste in your story. That's it. That's it. It will automatically think about your characters and storyline and everything. Choose your dimension, generate the story. That is it, guys. That is it. Yes, I know, like, that sounds too good to be true, but finally we cracked that. And as I said, right, it's supposed to be a beta feature. It's supposed to get launched. For example, like, it will take, as you can see, it will take some time. Give it some time, yeah. And then once you'll see all the images. Now let me just refresh my screen, right? As I was saying, right, it was supposed to be a beta feature because we finally cracked the way to get the characters in perfect, professional, really good quality and consistent throughout the page, right? So we said, okay, why not to give it to everybody as the beta tag, as the beta feature for absolutely free with this version 6 upgrade. You're gonna love this, right? And let me show you some of the past the creations, right? So it will take like a minute or two because there are a bunch of these images. But look at this. Look at this. The image qualities are now sharper. The style is now more better. And now, not just this, you get the ability to edit the images as well. So you click on the eye, you click on edit, and you can now actually edit this image by just some prompts, right? So what it will help you if, right, as I said, right, it's a beta feature, right? If one or two images that are not that perfect, meaning the shoe color changes, or you want to make sure the shoe has that color, the jeans has that color, you can now fine tune that. And we also show you the page number as well, right? Let's see how our images, like, look at this, our images are coming sharper right now. Look at this. This is the image, this is the script that we just pushed. Look at the consistency of the character, and this is a perfect example, right? So let's say, some images you see glasses when the grandpa is outdoor, when the grandpa is indoor, there are no glasses, whatever it is, and you feel to like, yes, I want the glasses across the board. You can do that as well, right? It's like, look at this. It's just, you get full story, right? Look at that, Ethan and the patient bird house, Mr. Harris. Look at that, very, very cool, right? And then now this is a perfect example, right? You can now edit these images, right? Like you say, like, hey, I want to change the color of the Ethan shirt, or I want to change the the title, or I want to change whatever it is. Look at this, guys, how cool that is. In just one script, multiple consistent character throughout the pages, right? It's just crazy, right? And now you can convert this into a flipbook. How? Well, you come to the personal designs tab. By default, you will be in the all tab, yeah? What you need to do, you have to come to the specific tab to get all the button, right? So you come to multi-character storybook. You click on create flipbook. Now when you click on create flipbook, there is this tick box that appears here, right? So you click on that, you click on create flipbook. You can now convert it into any language you want. You can add read aloud narration if you want. You can choose the template. Let's go with the blank. Now the cover is already ready for you, so you can pick that, and then you can again add the back cover as well and generate the flipbook. That's how easy it is. Look at this. I created this storybook in like one click with converted my script. How cool that is, right? Check this out. Pretty powerful, right? Perfectly consistent character throughout all the pages, right? And let me show you the Sophie one, right? Look at this. Sophie and the old oak tree. Look at this. Look at this. How cool that is. Now, the image quality, right? Because we did like a lot of research, like, specifically from your feedback, from your request. I want this style, I want that style. The images and the text. Look at those minute text for the storybook images, right? Everything will come perfectly. You see what I'm trying to say? That's the power. Look at that. Our Ethan and the patient birdhouse is also ready. Let's read that out together, right? I mean, this was not possible without all your requests, without all your feedback. You said, okay, I want this, I want that, I want this, Perfectly did all of this, right? Check this out. In a small town, okay, there is a thing. It's exactly gonna take your script, right? No additional, no editing to the script. It's just your script. Apparently it says, okay, so I think there are 16, 17 pages. Look at that. How cool, isn't it? Look at that. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Yeah, that is the power. You can now, download these images as well. Look at this, the honest woodcutter one, right? This, you're gonna love this, right? Check this out. Check this out. Yeah. How cool it is, right? Now you can actually bring your own stories to life with multiple consistent characters. Look at this Ant story. I was so excited. I was like so happy with the results that is coming. It just like, and I hope that, you're gonna love this feature, and I'm looking forward to see all your amazing creations. The image qualities are now sharper. It's more depth. It's perfectly styled, you will see the difference. But when you will actually create it, you yourself will see the difference. and I'm just super excited to see your amazing creations, because that is the power, right? Like, look at that. Look at that, right? And again, we can go on and on, but the idea is, under AI design agent, the beta feature that would take, again, as I said, it would take easily a month or two to kind of fine tune it, make it better, and all that, and only release it to a small, small group of people. We decided that, okay, because you guys love this approach, where an instant beta feature, that means without you having to wait to get the state of the art feature in Artistly, you're gonna get it instantly. You're gonna get it instantly without waiting for months or weeks or even multiple months. And then you can share your feedback in comments, in a roadmap, in our Facebook groups with support, and we're gonna make it better from there, right? So it's always give you the perfect result. That's our idea, and you guys loved it. So yeah, that's the thing, right? So that also comes for absolutely free with the version 6 upgrade. So yeah, let's see. I'm so excited to see your amazing creations with this feature. So you can make sure you join the Meta group. We will link it in the description. And I will now, let's go to the questions, and then we'll show you the next one. Perfect. All right.
Pretty
Yep.
cool, right? So, a couple of things real quick before we get to the next part of it. So, what are we covering next, first of all, Yashir?
Next, we are talking about how they can take a real photo of their
Mhm.
grandson, grandkid, whatever it is, and convert it into the personalized child hero storybook with personalization
Yes,
elements with their
right.
name,
Or the
your own
story.
story. Yeah, with your name, with your own story, with fully everything done. So yeah, that's what we're covering.
Okay, cool. So, a little bit about this, folks. Okay, we never had this feature before. So, what makes this very unique is that, think of it this way: before you automatically created the script, you pasted the script, what we just showed you, and now you could create consistent character stories, like a farmer and his turtle, farmer and his sheep. Let's say, for example, an engineer and his basically like an engineer was trying to build a car on his own, and then his child, for example, learning how to build a car. Let's assume, right? Now you go to up to 4 consistent characters and all that. Now with this, you can upload a photo of a child, right? And then make them into basically the lead character of that story and maintain that consistency. So that photo gets turned into a 3D style, maintains their stylistic choices. Like say, as you can see in this example, the little girl, his ponytails, right? So she's continuing that with flowers in both sides of the ponytails, right? So similarly, you see basically where you can control and drive the actions of that character and that sort of thing. Now, what makes this very unique is that, first of all, to be able to do this consistently over 25, 30 pages, whatever you can do right now in Artist, is very difficult, very challenging, because every time AI generates something, it kind of hallucinates sometimes, right? So we fix that. Secondly, what makes this very unique is that number one most successful storybooks out there and gifted items right now for birthdays and that sort of thing is, let's say, for example, somebody wants to gift something for somebody's first birthday or 6 months birthday, or let's say whatever it might be. They all want to give something that is fun, right? And what better than the storybooks themselves having the child, let's say the aunt, the niece, the uncle, whoever is creating for that person is actually creating them as the lead character of the story. And so this is exciting because I personally buy all the gifts I've ever purchased for babies and kids, that sort of thing, has been something like this: printed, personalized storybooks that I can gift. And people are willing to spend any amount of money for that because it's fun. It's not like a gadget or a toy people throw away after they grow up. This is something that's a memory, right? That is nostalgic for long periods of time. So that's the idea behind this. And of course, this is the start. It's only going to get better with time in terms of what you can achieve with this feature, because we have a lot of other ideas that we want to incorporate with this down the line. I'll get to that later on in this presentation. So yeah, go ahead.
All right, so I'm gonna share my screen now. I'm gonna just add this real. Super excited to show you, right? So as you probably seen it, right? is we have created a completely new section called AI Storybook Studio under Fast AI Image Designer. Now, what that is gonna allow you to do is gonna blow your mind away. As I said, again, it's a beta launch with the V6 upgrade, but we have planned to, to kind of just like right now, you can take an idea and convert it to a storybook. We're gonna have script to storybook functionality here as well very soon. But the idea it is, with this functionality, you can turn the picture of your, like let's say grandson or granddaughter or whatever it is into like a character, into a hero of the storybook, and make them the hero, and create custom storybooks, right? You're gonna love this, right? Check this out. So you have to come to AI Storybook Studio. You can find it under Fast AI Image Designer, as I said. You come to Idea to Storybook. You click on Create New Story. Now you upload the reference photo. Let's say I'm gonna upload a reference photo of, let's say, this image. You have to mention, right? It is a human or a cartoon, right? So human. In here you have to make sure the name, let's say for example I'm gonna give let's say I'm gonna give, let's say, let me think, Jasmine. Okay, costume, this is very important for consistency, right? So make sure you are as detailed enough as you can see in the example, because that's what your kid or the hero of the story is going to wear. Yeah, I'm gonna say white shirt with green. I mean, I'm just giving an example, right? White shirt, green jeans, and brown shoes. Yeah. Now you can drop in the idea of your story, right? So it's gonna take that, fine tune it, create the story. So she learns the importance, of patience, something like that, right? Now, you can go detailed enough, you can go short, you can go long, any idea you have, anything that you can imagine, you can create. I'm gonna do, let's say this is a moral style. I'm gonna do, let's say, 10 pages. You can go up to 25. We have plans to increasing, as we already explained. Now, dimensions, you can do 4:5, for the pages, or you can go up to 9:16 as well, but I prefer 4:5, right? Book cover, here, let's say I'm gonna say Jasmine Adventures, and then I'm gonna do author as Yash, for example, I'm gonna say Yash Sharma, whatever it is, or maybe, for whatever it is. Now, you're gonna love this, right? It's gonna take the image, right, convert it into a cartoon, and keep it consistent throughout all the pages. First of all, it's gonna create the story. Then it's gonna take your costume direction, and it's gonna put that costume, right? And after that, it puts that costume. It is going to kind of create the illustration, right, of every page, right? Then it's gonna also create a cover image as well. How powerful is that? It's one of the most requested thing. And again, right, this now eliminates that thing where, oh, the character is not consistent, oh, my thing does not come out good, or stuff like that. So we'll just wait for a few seconds, and we'll automatically send me to the personal design with every image created for me, just like this. You have to wait, because AI is doing the heavy lifting for me behind the scenes. And the idea, and now in front of you, you're gonna see all these images getting generated. So this is very, very powerful feature, guys. Specifically for those of you who want to create personalized storybook for the parent, for yourself, want to gift it to your grandson, your granddaughter, your son, your daughter. They want to convert, themselves as the hero, whatever we want. Look at that. How cool is it, right? Now, a lot of times what happens, it automatically kind of takes that approach from, look at that, pretty good. Like, it's basically, we made sure, right, you always want it in the 3D kind of Pixar style. So it's really good, and we are adding more functionality for you to, I'm gonna actually show you that we already added it anyways. As you see, right, few more minutes and every image will come automatically with, as I explained, white shirt, whatever it is. It's gonna take the reference image as a core idea, and then as detailed your costume directions are, it's gonna come with that, right? I guess the story is most probably with the, when it comes to, I guess, related to the castle building. But how powerful that is, guys, right? And then, as you can probably see, these are the prompts. Yeah, these are all the prompts for each image, and you can, there's one another thing that I'm super excited about, right, which is the ability that you can edit the image a lot of the times, right? What happens, you can see what pages it is, you can see how many pages are there. There's a 10th page, there's a 12th page, there's a page number 0. I mean, it's not a page number, it's probably a cover thing, but anyways, right? Now you click on AI Storybook Studio, because that's where you created the storybook from, to kind of convert it into a flipbook. Click on create flipbook, create the story, and then do all that process, right? Which is create the flipbook. Automatically the flipbook title will appear. You can convert it into different style. You can my bad. Convert it into a different language. Select the page template. Create the one. You can also create the one using AI that suits your story. Front cover, back cover if you already created, and you can generate the flipbook. Now, one thing I want to mention here, which is very, very important, right? Now, you're not just limited to this. That's where I wanted to make sure, right? You now have the power, because you have the prompts, right? The girl with the short hair, everything, right? You now have the power to take these prompts, okay? Yeah, you now have the power to take these prompts, and if you want to create separate images, right, but keeping the same style and everything, you can always go to assistant, human stylizer, upload that image, for example, just so that I show you, right? A lot of times you might need to create a different illustration, right? So let's say I want to do 4:5, and I just push this prompt, yeah, and stylize the image. You are not now limited to anything, right? You want to create unlimited illustrations, you can create unlimited illustrations, right? As many illustrations as you want, right? So that's the power. Now let me show you one more time, so that you can see the power of this, right? So again, where it is in the AI Storybook Studio. You come to idea to storybook, you click on create a new story, you click on it, and then look at that, like that image came out pretty powerful, right? Let's say I'm gonna do. Yeah, I was just playing. Yeah, I just try with this. It's funny, me. Yeah, I was just creating this image for me using consistent character thing. Anyways, we'll come to that. Alright, so am I human? Yes, let's do the human. I want to create a story about myself, right? So this is the story about Yash. Alright, what do we want Yash to wear? This time we want a blue sweater, red jeans, and green shoes. Yeah, let's make him colorful. Yeah, anyways, so story idea. Now here's where Yash learns, I would just say he learns the lesson of let's say, what should we say, it's the lessons of patience, right? Because I'm a little bit impatient person. Anyways, so alright, again, that's all I can think about right now, but we'll just go with this. Story, moral, pages, for now, just for the time being, right? With the 5 pages, 4:5. Yash, the hero. I mean, you can put any title you want, right? Who is the author? Yash is also the author. Alright, and generate. Now what it's gonna do, it's gonna take all your inputs and will create the storybook for you with perfect pages, entire story, illustrated, and boom. You know, these are 5. One is probably with the cover image as the page number 0, I guess, is the cover image. It's very interesting. But anyways, right? So we'll just wait for a few more minutes, and once it is done, we can go to the flipbooks, right? As I said, we're following this process. One important thing, guys, right, is a lot of people say like, okay, I don't know, like I got these images, how should I go from creating a PDF or something to, you know, like a digital file or a flipbook? It's not appearing. Wow. Look at this. Probably me when I was a kid. Anyway, looks pretty good, right? Pretty good. Yash the hero. Yash Sharma. Perfect. So it's probably the story about, you know, me planting some seed or whatever it is. But yeah, it's really good idea. The more the detail the story I give, the better it is, right? And now the question that I was answering, right, is the create flipbook button is not appearing. Yes, what should we do? So very important, you need to click on these and these tabs to kind of open up the specific images that you created from those specific feature, number 1. And number 2 is that create flipbook option will appear after that. Okay, so click on AI Storybook Studio, create the flipbook, select the story, create the flipbook. I want in English. You can actually add a read aloud narration. You got a bunch of different lifelike realistic voice actors. You get the templates again for the pages, how it will appear. I'm going to show you. Front page, I'm going to get the front page from here, and then I'm going to just create and generate the flipbook, right? And the flipbook is going to work something like this, right? We've got that flipbook create Jasmine Adventure. Boom. Okay, actually I use I use the different images, but yeah, you get the point, right? The flipbook will appear something like this. For this flipbook, I actually used a different cover, but you get the idea, right? So that is the power, right? Yash the hero. Let's see. All right, what's up, our hero? The boy found a tiny round seed. He carefully planted. Every hour he checked the spot, hoping to see a sprout. Then he remembered what his grandma always said about good things. One morning, a tiny, sprout poked. Being patient helps wonderful things grow. Now, let's talk about personalization thing, right? Meaning, you can come to AI Storybook Studio. Now, the thing is, Yash, I want to have my kid's name there, right? Like, a lot of you might be thinking about that, right? So, what you can do, again, you can come to Idea to Storybook, create a new story. You can upload the photo, choose from library, upload it. I'm gonna pick Yash the hero again, human style. I'm just gonna put Yash, right? And then I'm gonna do, this time I'm gonna do pink. Oh, actually, I can just, can I use, okay. I'm gonna do pink sweater. I'm gonna just make something colorful. Yellow jeans. Blue shoes. Okay, I'm gonna do Yash learns the lesson. Yash learns the lesson of patience. I'm just gonna keep it same. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna do moral for a time being. I'm gonna do 5. Oops, my bad. I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna do dimensions 4:5. Alright, I'm gonna do Baby Yash. Alright, actually let's make Baby Yash the author, and let's make Yash the king. I mean, it's just anything, just funny. Anyways, so I'm just gonna create it. So the idea is you can leave in that idea. Let me just check. So, all right, perfect. Now check this out. It's gonna create the cover, as I said. Now it's gonna create the baby Yash with learning the lesson of patience. And again, you can, the more detail you go into the storybook, the better it will be, and the great, I mean, the good results you will get. Basically, what I'm trying to say, right? More accurate results you will get, more personalized result you will get, and all the thing. And you can actually go to that, right? While this is being generated, I want to show you. All right, okay, that's nice. AI storybook. 1 second, I think. Let me just refresh my screen. I think my internet. 1 second. Oops. Okay, I'm back. Nice live scenario. Everything happens. Anyways, idea to storybook, your story, Yash the king. Yash learns the lesson, whatever it is, you can generate it. You can basically, what I was trying to say is you can see all your stories, Jasmine, Yash Kingdom, whatever it is. Anyways, let me go back to this. Oh, am I smoking here? Okay, you can regenerate the design. I mean, always, it looks funny. Anyways, so that's the idea. Once that regeneration is done, look at that cover, right? Yash the king, baby Yash. I mean, whatever, it is. It seems like it is always kind of having that story, teaching me the importance of patience by just about the related. I mean, sorry, what I'm trying to say is with that, I guess I am trying to. What is Yash doing here? Yash is gently blowing the. Oh, I see air. That looks funny. Anyways, you can always edit it, right? You can edit, like, okay, let me just see, right? Change the. I mean, you can do anything, right? So change the pink. Okay, add the hat. I'm just something, simple. So you can get these things. Okay, how did I get it? You click on you click on edit image, and that's how you get it, right? So we added is one of the most requested thing, like, yes, I want, the ability to, and I know a lot of things that you guys have requested. We are slowly, pushing all the features, shipping all the features as fast as we can, right? Like, it added the hat, which is pretty nice. And the more the detail you are with the prompt, the better it is. You can add the things and stuff like that. Now, if you go to again, go to AI Storybook tab to get the Create Flipbook button. Select the story, create the flipbook. Browse the page. I want a front page. I'm gonna get this, and then you can generate the flipbook. And that's how it works, right? Yash the King story is getting generated, and it will create those perfect, beautiful story with the personalized elements with that, with your grandson you want to give. This is perfect for, and this is perfect for what I was trying to say is this is perfect for gifting, giving a surprise or a bedtime story, whatever it is, right? Check this out. Yash wanted everything right away. Yes, I want everything right away, right? One sunny morning, he planted a tiny seed. He checked the pot. Yash felt a little bit frustrated, which I always do when things don't go according to me. He tried blowing on the pot, hoping to make. After a while, Yash decided to play with his toys and said, hey, just keeping my energy somewhere else until things gets done. That's what I recommend when the app goes under maintenance. For you guys, you can spend some energy somewhere else and the app will be live very soon. Joking. Anyways, days later, Yash looked at his pot and gasped, a beautiful green sprout, right? So again, this is just a basic demonstration of what you can do. Now, it all depends on your imagination, right? And I'm so excited for this, right? So now, I hope you love this so far, and I'm super excited to see your creations, right? Now let's come to your questions and then we'll move to the next thing, right? Perfect. All right, so that was pretty amazing, isn't it? So let me know all the questions before we jump onto the next step-by-step version of the next amazing feature that I'm super excited to share that. And we're gonna make sure we write all your questions, and then one by one, we're gonna answer that at the end of this, presentation. So Paul, you wanna add something?
Yeah, so basically, I saw quite a bit of questions. We'll get to that in just a bit. So the goal here is to focus on features first, and then what we're talking about, what we're adding in, and that sort of thing. And some of the questions are related to, okay, in this feature, how do I do this intricate aspect? For example, some other questions which we're going to get back to as we go along. So don't worry about the questions not being answered. We'll get to that. There are like hundreds of people, hundreds of comments. Okay. And secondly, there's going to be a replay for this as well as step-by-step training as we announce the features and make it easy for you to review and play around with it as well. This is the intro, right? This is the step-by-step demo. So it's a couple of times, maybe you might have to go through it again. So because it's on YouTube, you can watch it at any time, but also we'll have short, sweet step-by-step training in our tutorials page as always. So that's not an issue as well. So now what are we talking about next, Yash? So in terms of the features.
All right, so the next thing that we are talking about is, you got all these beautiful creations. A lot of the times you want to actually convert your images into a specific style without changing a lot of things, without putting a lot of prompts, or specifically converting your image into a coloring page. How is that possible? We're going to talk about it right now. So I'm going to share my screen.
Yes,
Paul,
this is what we're talking about while we share our screen and talk about it. So just as a quick overview of this thing, what is this different from prior? So what update we make here? So the main update for you to consider here, understand, is that it will basically create different outlines and it's one click. Okay. So it's more like an activity book, if you will. Okay. And before you had to prompt it, you got to tell it, okay, make it into an outline image and all that kind of mumbo jumbo stuff. It's very fast now, very streamlined, one click, easy. Okay. So yeah, go ahead, guys.
All right, wonderful. So I'm going to share my screen now and we'll get this rolling. Now let's look into this. I hope my screen is visible. So for that, what you have to do is you have to come to AI Design Assistant, and here you will see a new feature called AI Stylizer, turning your existing image into your desired style by keeping everything the same, right? So let's actually look into this, right? Let's actually look into all the styles, I mean, right? So let's say I want to read this, right? Now you have the options. You can convert it to any style you want, right? Vector, pop art, Snoopy, Ghibli, clay, cartoon, whatever it is. But the specific style that will get you your desired result of converting into a coloring book is the line art. We call that line art, right? So you need to mention what size of, so this is the image 4:5, right? So if you keep your aspect ratio default, then the image that you will get will also match the size of this. But if you want to actually want it in 16:9, 9:16, or 1:1, we are adding more ratios there, basically sizes there, then you will get in those, right? So let's say default, and I do line art and I stylize it. Well, just wait for a few seconds and you will get your image converted into a coloring book, right? Let's try that again, right? So I'm gonna go to AI Design Assistant, AI Stylizer, choose from library. This time I'm gonna pick, let's say, this image. I'm gonna keep the aspect ratio the same, and I'm gonna show you more styles. Yeah, let's run this with line art. You can just click on it, it will select it automatically, and just scroll down and you will see this button called stylize image, right? Now it takes few seconds to convert your image into that style, and look at that, how good it is, right? It's gonna create those perfect dark border lines, for your pages. Another thing that I wanted to show you is, again, if you come to AI stylizer, choose from library. Let's say I pick this gentleman, and then now if I convert it into, let's say, a comic book style, I can do that now. Style. So if you have existing images, and if you want, let's say, to convert your storybook images, look at this. How cool this is, right? Look at this. Perfect for coloring book page use case. Perfect for, just converting your images into the coloring book style. But the name we call it is line art style in this. So again, design assistant, AI stylizer, choose from library. I'm gonna pick this gentleman again, and let's do, we already did comic, let's try origami style, right? So we have a lot of new styles available here that were not, and you can always ask for more, and we're gonna keep adding them based on request. These were, look at that, look at our comic one, pretty cool, right? So literally you can take your storybook images, right, and convert it into a totally different style that you desire. How cool is that, right? Let's say I want to change this image, right, and I wanted to change it into 3D cartoon style. How will that look like, right? I just want to show you what are the possibilities here, because possibilities are just endless. Look at that, origami style, right? And I'm gonna crew assistant, stylizer, pick from library. I'm gonna pick this gentleman again, and this is the like final result, like it's a pixel, your 8-bit pixel style you can convert if you specifically trying in that. Oh, by the way, let's try the good old Ghibli style, right? And boom, just as I said, wait for a few seconds and you will get the result. So this is your, your 3D cartoonish style, if you were to say, right? So yep, that's how it works, guys. But mainly I know you're gonna love that line art style, specifically for converting your images into perfect for, like let's say even I turn this gentleman, convert to line art, stylize, perfect for coloring book use case. It's gonna I would say, like, 10x your productivity when getting your final images to coloring page, because there's a lot of editing, a lot of things, and it's perfect. It does it very perfectly, right? The thick borders, perfect black and white blend. So yeah. All right, so how does that sound to you guys? So let's see. Look at that, pretty cool, right? So yeah, that's the thing I want to show you. Now let's look into the next one. Yeah. All right, so that was pretty powerful. Just one thing, as you guys just started, started creating all the images. So there is a slight issue that you might be facing. That is a bug. It will be fixed. So all of you might be facing that upgrade. It's not. It's a free upgrade. Version 6 is free for everyone. But there's that upgrade thing that we're gonna be solve that in the next few minutes. So just wanted to let you know so that you don't worry about that. All right, so Paul, so while we're doing that, you want to add something?
Yeah, so basically, so there's some questions coming in. We'll be talking about that as well. There's that one secret feature. We'll be getting that, closing that loop, what I started earlier on the live stream as well. We'll get into that in just a second. Folks, the main point is that this V6 upgrade is free. Okay, so meaning before you add storybooks, you're going to get this feature for free as well. Before you add access to, let's say, multi-consistent character books, you're going to have this one available as well for you. Okay, so in other words, if you're already a premium elite unlimited user, you don't have to buy anything extra. If you already had storybooks access, you're going to get these features as well. So don't worry about that at all. Now, the second thing I want to mention here as well is there's some specific questions underneath as well. Okay, so for example, something like this one, right? Can I edit specific pages of storybooks after they've been created? Meaning, let's say I've created 25 pages, can I edit one of them? Yes, we're going to be talking about questions like these as well as we go along. Okay, I'm noting down all your questions. I'll be answering them, and we'll be answering them as well as we go along, so that no question is left unanswered today. Okay. Now, the next feature, okay, so we're going to be talking about, and then we'll kind of close the loop and do some Q&A, talk about what other cool things we have planned next after this update has been made and stuff like that as well. So, Yash, what are we talking about next?
Yeah. So next we're gonna go into basically converting your sketches, your raw architectural designs into your, final 3D renders. And then, yeah, this one, exactly. We're gonna talk about it's very simple, straightforward. One click, and I'm gonna show you that, right? So I'm gonna share my screen. Awesome. Screen will be visible, right? Can you add my screen, Paul, to screen? Awesome. Yeah, there was that thing as we are slowly rolling out all the updates. A lot of the times what happens is the V6, it should be in your account, and even if it is not, just wait for next 24 hours, and it will be in your accounts for absolutely free, no upgrades, nothing to pay, nothing to buy. All right. Anyways, now what I'm talking about is inside Design Assistant. Now, what it is basically this feature called Sketch to 3D Render. And probably those of you are in interior design, real estate, you're going to love this thing, right? So, what you can do, if I can show you, right? You can take raw sketches, yeah, raw sketches of any design, like anything that someone made, right? And you can actually convert it into the realistic 3D render. Yeah, it's very, very powerful. And I'm gonna show you how does that look like, because a lot of you guys also, as we are talking about this, I want to mention another thing, which is the photo restoration thing, which we didn't mention in the thing, but we also upgraded that. Now, what that is, very powerful. Okay, go to AI Design Assistant again, just like Sketch to 3D render. We have a one-click photo restoration feature, meaning you come to Design Assistant, you go to Photo Restoration, you click on Choose from Library, yeah, you click on Upload it if you have uploaded anything. Let's say I've already uploaded this, and you're just gonna restore the photo. That's it. That's it. It's gonna come out like this.
Yeah. So quick thing on this. The biggest requested feature on this front was, hey, look, you're asking me to put a prompt, 1970s vintage style, blah, 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 to keep the aesthetics, the ambience of that photo, the stylistic characters, right? Because back in the day, they used to use Kodak cameras to shoot these. So it's not like the DSLR type of lighting that we have since, let's say, the last maybe 15, 10 years. So somebody shot in 1980s, 1960s, 1940s. It's a different style of artistic choices. So we've automated that. One of the complaints that we got, and only one person complained about this, and I really, something kind of charged me up to kind of fix this was, hey, look, my father was 70 years old. He wanted to restore a photo of my mother, right, who passed away. So he came into Artistly. He bought it only for that reason. He uploaded the photo and he got stuck because he doesn't know what prompt to put. And it hurt me because obviously it's something that we want to make it simplified. See, what happens is with these features, we put it where we are more thinking in the technical terms, where we think, okay, if somebody wants prompting, they want more customization, but it ends up hurting the everyday people to make it easier, right? They made it more easier. No need for you to prompt. You upload a photo, it automatically detect what type of photo, what aesthetic style, what era it's from, and automatically colorizes it, makes it, restores that photo, okay, in different dimensions and styles and stuff like that, which is super fun, and it's something anybody can use now, okay, which and it's super fast too, as you can see. So it's really, really fun and awesome. See this one right here, this is probably from the early 1900s, this type of topography and stylistic choices and stuff. So you get the idea, okay. AI will automatically detect and fix it. You don't have to worry about like it tricking it with prompting and stuff. Okay, big pet peeve of mine personally as well. Because if I want to give it to my grandfather, my father, my uncles, and these are the folks who have no clue about AI, I mean, this is how they would want it. Okay, mistake made, mistake fixed. Okay, just want to be clear on it. All right, so what's next now? Okay, what do we want to talk about next?
Next is the bonus feature. Time to reveal that.
Okay, perfect. Remember, I told you feature number one is hidden. So let's talk about that. Okay, we're going to come back full circle and talk about that one feature. Okay, and there's a reason why we held back on this feature, and I kind of want to explain that as well because it needs a little bit of explanation. That's why I held it to the end. Okay, which is this one. Perfect text in images. Okay. Now, this is a brand new feature we've added in. Now, the only way you can get access to it is in Artistly. No other application can do it because it's an internal thing that we developed. Took a lot of headaches to get this through, to get it made. And what this does is you never have to worry about how long the text is. And more importantly, it can adhere to the prompts and other aspects as well. Now, for this feature, okay, we went crazy. Okay, I went crazy, you could say. So what we did is we are still fine tuning this feature to make it fast, but we tried to get it to work as quickly as possible and make it, as high quality as possible. And we were not able to get it to work with our the cheapest servers. Let's say, okay, we had to make it work with the next generation NVIDIA, what's called the Blackwell B200 servers. These are the most expensive servers in the market, okay, today. And we thought, okay, should we release this feature or should we hold back for another month or whatever until we make it, fine tune and make it work for with the cheaper slash, AI servers. And I thought, okay, let's just give the best feature right now so that we can confidently say, Artistic today is the best AI design tool, bar none. Okay, when it comes to perfect text, consistency of characters, and all that. Whether you compare it with a Chat GPT, Gemini, or whatever. Okay, so what is this feature exactly? So let me bring my screen up here, and I'll kind of show you in a nutshell what this does and stuff like that. Okay, so first of all, let me actually kind of bring across where it is located and what you need to do to get access to it. Okay, so first of all, what it does in a nutshell. Okay, what it does, if I bring up my screen here, I'll bring it up for you folks. Actually, let me do it this way. One sec. I'll put this one here and then I'll bring it up here. Okay, cool. So what this will do is we'll generate entire design elements like this. You see this? Our entire thumbnail, right? Like we showed you earlier today. It can create neon style images like this, create perfect long paragraphs of text using new Artistly V6 beta feature. This is a test, right? And you see this, the stylistic elements, perfect long text. Okay. It can create stuff like this. It can create entire thumbnail. So you can come in and edit it. Like if I click the edit button, it's going to open up the Artistly editor, you see, and you can edit stuff. You can do anything. You see this, how the text elements, like you have the perfect text element here. You have all these, like any amount of text you desire will be added in perfectly. Okay. This is what the feature does. Okay. Now, what's happening? Okay. And we need a favor from you to get access to it today. Okay. Again, for free. It doesn't take you more than a couple of minutes. Okay. So what we've been getting is that a feature like this, we have to run the most expensive enterprise AI servers right now. It costs like what? For one server, okay, costs about $50 an hour right now. Okay. We're spending that kind of money. Ridiculous. But I thought, why don't we try it out? And we can't give it to everybody today, but we will release it to everybody in a couple of weeks, okay, to all the users. But if you want access to it right now, all you have to do, okay, is you'll see, okay, in your account, okay, if you go to Artistly right now, you go into, let's scroll up a little bit. If you go into AI Image Designer V6 on the top, you're going to see a feature that looks something like this, perfect text in Image Designer, okay, this one right here. So when you click on that one, okay, see, for me, it shows up. For you, it'll say, okay, can you, it's a locked feature. That's what some of the comments were coming in. Hey, I can't go and I can use that feature right now. So what this is basically is you can put any type of prompt, whatever length of text, doesn't even really matter. And it will perfectly create that text, regardless of how big that text is. All you have to do, okay, and this is the favor we need from you. Again, you can wait for a couple of weeks once we fine tune and make it work with like our other server systems and that sort of thing. Right now, we're just throwing the best, like what we would internally do, where we just throw a whole bunch of servers at it. Is we've been getting attacked like crazy. Unfortunately, I hate to do it. To be very honest with you, it's not something that is fun. So we're getting attacked with all these subscription companies, most of them located overseas. I don't want to name them, but you get the idea. Most of them are located overseas. And then what they will say is like, well, Artistly is a one-time payment tool, correct? Done 6 version updates. So what happened recently? If you look at the facts right now, what happened recently? What happened recently is ChatGPT introduced the $200 a month Pro plan, right? Which was basically, okay, you want more high-end features, more newer models, you gonna have to pay $200 a month. Then what happened? Google introduced for VO3 something called Google AI Ultra, which is $295 a month, correct? So then what happened? All these overseas companies, right? They started saying, okay, you want the premium feature. Now there's a new tier, right? Pay $200 a month or whatever it might be. Let's say it was $20 a month before. Now they say $99 a month or $200 a month or whatever. And when we started giving updates to Artistly, right, where we gave away free updates, we've been getting attacked. So, for example, like we are number one rated in Trustpilot. We were for a long period of time, and also on Capterra and on Software Advisor and on the other platform. Somebody miraculously creates another Artistly page, right? And then starts posting all kinds of reviews, right? And the sad part about this actually is that we can't even change it. We can't even claim it because they created it as a subdomain, right? I'll show you that. You can go check it out. Anyway, the point is that now what happens is that when we're trying to grow, right, the only way we can develop these features is more customers end up giving word of mouth and basically talking about Artistly and recommending it to your friends and family and that sort of thing. Because just so you understand, just the storybooks feature, right? Like if you go into AI Storybook Studio, right? And it's 30 pages long, right? You can try to create a storybook here, as you can see, and you're going to go to your stories or you want to go into reference photo and upload it, and you're creating this max 25 pages. And let's say tomorrow we're going to do 50 pages, 100 pages. That's the idea with these updates. What happens? 100 servers have to launch where each image has to generate in one server. Let's say it takes 10 seconds. We are not skimping on the server stuff. Our margins are so thin, we don't care. We make maybe 5%, 8% margins. I don't care because we want to give the best quality. So somebody who wants to upgrade to a $200 plan in one of these overseas platforms, it kills them, right? The business model completely. Because here we are saying, okay, you purchased Artistly 2 years ago, you're still getting this feature for free. You don't have to upgrade to another level or whatever. Whatever you purchased even a couple of years ago, you're getting it. So you're getting attacked. So all we request, if possible, again, it's optional. If you want to wait for a couple of weeks for this AI text image generation feature, once we optimize it or whatever, it's okay, no worries. But if you want it now, so maybe in the next 1 hour or whatever, just please go here to artistly.ai/review. You're going to go to a page that looks something like this. I'll actually go in there right now. The artistly.ai/whatever, sorry, right? And then it's going to say, okay, these are the features you want to unlock, right? And then perfect long text in images. And then you see here, you're going to get access to our affiliate program as well. So we're going to give priority access to, because in the store, in the Flipbooks feature, you can put your affiliate link. We'll talk about that in just a second. So other people, if they come to your Flipbook and watch it, they can actually buy Artistly and you're going to get compensated for it, a commission, okay? Because you're referring customers potentially to Artistly. And it's a popular application, so it's very easy to make sales. So anyway, you come in and you post a review to Artistly on this link, right? And then you click on this here and then you can leave it. If you have left a review in the past for us, please do it here because somebody just created this weird page. We can't even claim, we can't do anything because it's some subdomain, right? And us right here, okay? I'll show you real quick so you understand. See this? It's basically like a subdomain called app.artistly. You see this? It goes to our app link. We can't claim it because it goes to our app link. You understand what I'm saying? So you can't even claim it. That's the problem. Okay, get the point. Anyway, so you go to that link, artistly.ai/review. It takes you 2 minutes. You leave us a support email, contact, whatever here, and we'll be happy to give you access to this. Now, I want to show you what's unique about this feature. Let's slow this down. What's unique about this feature? So if you go into ChatGPT right now, and I put a prompt like this, right? AI will generate that prompt too, by the way. And then we'll say, create a perfect long paragraph of text using Artistly new v6 beta feature, right? Look at the ChatGPT, what it does. Makes mistakes, see? Instead of using, it uses the word ensign, see? And this is the problem with text. It's never perfect the very first time. You got to create it multiple times. What the problem is in cases like ChatGPT, even if you're just paying $20 a month, whatever you pay, you got to generate it multiple times and it takes like 1 minute to generate that one image. Now imagine we want to put this feature in tomorrow in the storybooks thing. And if ChatGPT with billions of dollars worth of resources is unable to do this properly, you see where the problem comes for us as well, right? As we keep getting attacked online and all these other places. And by competitors, obviously, because obviously you can't even do anything about it these days, unfortunately. Anyway, so the idea is that even our ChatGPT makes these mistakes because text rendering requires really, really powerful servers. So what they're really compensating for is, let's say they'll say generate it 4 times. 1 time might be good. Okay. And the risk factor with that is you got to wait 1 minute, like 4 minutes to get one good image, right? Now, if we want to then generate the same concept into the storybooks feature, where 25 pages have to be done, we can't take that chance, right? Because at the end of the day, it's going to take a lot more time, energy, resources on your end to keep correcting it. So that is the reason why I highly recommend you to get that. It would be greatly helpful for us. It's optional again. You want to wait for about 10 days or so while we can fine tune this, because right now what we're really doing is we're just throwing a bunch of uh, like tons of like these servers, right? And the problem with these types of servers is they're super expensive. I'll show you actually if I can pull up this one right now real quick. Um, so I'll show you. Okay, like these are like the okay, I'll show you. Yeah. So you see this one right here? This is the type of servers we're getting, right? P6, B200, high performance, blah, 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 right? So what these are like, these are the next generation, if you will, NVIDIA B200 servers. So what these are, they look something like this, if I can hopefully show you. One sec. Oops, B200, NVIDIA. Right? They look like these, like they look like some refrigerator systems like these that Amazon hosts. Now you look at this right now, costs $113 an hour. Okay, just so for reference point, you understand, because these require that this NVIDIA B200 thing. The only way we could make it work within about 15 seconds or so to generate is this right now for perfect text. What we want to ideally do is get it down to a smaller, more less expensive server right now. But unfortunately, our team is still working on it. It's going to take us a couple of weeks to mainly talk with the folks over at Amazon and all this other stuff to see if they can, their engineers also can help us a little bit to speed up the things. And they've been very cooperating, the folks over at Amazon, Google, and some of the other platforms as well. That's great. But anyway, the point is that we want to remove this and make it into something more like cheaper, right? So one of the cheaper instances that we can utilize for something like this could be, I'll show you hopefully if it works. That is, so you can use something called the G5 instance types, okay? Hopefully that, if they can sort it out, but a little bit more cheaper, by the way, okay? Show you. Yeah, so if you go to G5 instance types, you can, here, sorry, G5. Yeah, these ones, a little bit more cheaper, like at about $4 an hour, as you can see. Some of these are a little bit more cheaper. So we are hoping that if we can get it down to this, it'll be like obviously 100x cheaper, right? So unfortunately, the problem with these is like this video memory for this one is too low. You see, it's 24 gigs, not enough. You need these massive, massive servers. So we are hoping that with this, you can understand that we're willing to spend any amount of money to get the best stuff out there, whether it's images, videos, or whatever the case might be. Okay. So again, just hate doing it personally. You know, I was telling to Yash as well before this call, I'm not comfortable doing this. Just not what we want to do with our customers. But you got to understand, we are the last, let me repeat that again, last remaining company which is doing lifetime, one-time payment type of deals right now for AI applications. I can tell you that with confidence. Anybody who's ever purchased anything online where somebody claims an AI tool is lifetime suddenly says, use your ChatGPT key to make it work, or use your Google Gemini key, or bring your own key and API stuff to make it work, right? Or they'll be like, oh, sorry, we cannot sustain it. The costs are too much. Go buy this premium tier, right? You've seen that, as I told you already. And that's happening quite a bit. The only way we can sustain long-term is word of mouth, right? Like with the value we are providing and stuff, you folks share it with other folks. Like, for example, I have my own family members, right? And friends and people I meet in birthday parties and stuff. They're like, I saw that storybook your child bought to daycare, right? And I was blown away. How did you do it? And I can proudly say we used Artistly to do it, right? And that's how we're growing the platform. That's how we're growing our network. And that's how we're able to sustain things, because word of mouth means we get the customer for free. A big platform will have spent billions of dollars, right? Or for branding and all these other things. Okay. So when I am asking for it, again, it's optional. No force, nothing, up to you. You go there. If you can leave it, that's great. Let us email. We'll give you today the access to the perfect text feature. We're planning on also adding 4x the options, but what we feel it's useless because it's perfect the very first time. So what we will actually do is incorporate this feature into the storybooks and other areas as well, where multiple images have to be created at once down the line. Okay. Now, again, just wanted to stress this point. It's optional. but it will greatly appreciate it. It'll help us actually sustain long term as well, through word of mouth and all that. We're just getting attacked because we are the last one left, unfortunately. Then what happens? Everybody wants that one guy to go down so they can raise prices, right? Obviously, like if you look at any platform out there and they bring the latest feature, like that storybooks feature we bought into Artistly, we could have made it in a new product. We didn't. What did we do? Gave it away for free, right? When we brought in like this perfect text, we could have made it into a brochure, perfect text, ad maker, and made it into a different product. We didn't. We gave it to you, right? So realistically, the only way is to word of mouth. They can keep growing, and our Facebook group and our community is already almost 70,000 plus long. This YouTube channel, we just for fun, we started putting these trainings. 35,000 subscribers right now. Would you believe it? All of them are our customers. Just so you understand, we are not getting YouTube subscribers who are people who are like somebody who just saw a viral video. All of it is just live training. If you go check out our YouTube channel as well, that shows whatever we're doing is taking time, snail pace, but it's working, right? So just wanted to tell you that, okay? I mean, you can let me in the chat box if that's a fair ask. Okay, if it's not too, no worries. Please give us about a couple of weeks to get Amazon guys and these other guys we're working with servers to kind of work with us to basically do some small fine tuning so that we can make it work across, all the tens of thousands of users that we have. You have to understand it's not like an easy rollout, right? Just so you understand. And I can go into detail on why, for example, ChatGPT, right? What did ChatGPT do for version 5? They made it automatic, right? So let's say you ask a question, it's either thinking or answering quickly. Why did they do that? Because they want to save server costs, because they want to make sure that 90% of the things go through the lower model, and then 10% of the requests go to the higher consumption model. We are not doing anything like that. If you see, we're just saying, okay, whatever the best quality, let's release it. We don't care, right? Whatever the cost might be. So just trying to explain how the marketplace is working, okay? And so just so you understand, we want to convert it into this. In my screen, I'll show you. I can pull it up. Yeah. So with this, which is about $1.60 or whatever, we want to make it work with this right now, but we can't. It's going to take us a couple of weeks to be able to do that for the perfect text feature. So that right now, what's happening is if you go in here, we're actually paying this P6 server type, which is ridiculous. Here, which is like $100 an hour. They can only handle so many users with this, right? But I want you to test it. See for yourself how high quality that text is. And you'll see for yourself how we're going as spend any amount of money to get the result kind of thing, okay? Because we have our own, unlike other people, just so we are clear, we have our own machine learning AI engineers in-house. So what does that mean exactly? One of the most common questions that come in, I've seen it all over the online, people who don't know us, right? They keep asking us this question. Okay, look, if you look here, okay, you're saying perfect text and images. Only right now, the platform which can do maybe, let's give some names here, Ideogram, maybe Google or ChatGPT might be the three choices people might say, right? Legitimately. Other platforms might suffer here. They don't care. Well, we did that perfect now, okay? We don't care how much ever it costs. Our engineers are internally making it work. You understand? To make it work across unlimited usage, any hundreds of images we can generate, that kind of stuff we're talking about. Secondly, look at the script to storybook thing. Nobody in the industry is able to do it. The closest we've seen is one of the big Fortune 500 companies tried it, and they stopped at 10 pages, okay, with narration. Why? Costs a lot of money, right? Being able to generate text to speech, being able to generate like 30 pages at once. Tomorrow, we are the only company, I can assure you, okay? I know the inside and out of the industry, right? Who can actually do 50, 100 pages. I know a lot of you folks want it. The only way we can get there is two ways. One, we got to fix the foundational stuff first, right? Meaning consistency has to be good for 20 pages to make it good for 50, because the challenges increase, right? When it's good for 50, we can do it for 100, And one of the questions that came in was, can I do images where it's graphic novels, right? Like, let's say, for example, instead of cartoon, can I make it realistic? Let us fix the cartoon, make it perfect before we move to realistic. So it's not an experimental feature, but something that we can make it perfect, you see? So what I'm trying to get at is that problem solving requires your feedback, of course, but also we need a couple of things from you. We don't want any money, obviously, but help us out, reach people in the long run, get the word of mouth through, okay? It's not easy these days where these companies are raising like hundreds of millions of dollars in venture capital money because they hype. They'll be gone in a year. And you know what? They don't have a Facebook group community. They don't have us, a real person you can blame. Like, at Paul, I didn't like that feature. I'm trying to chase you. Like in the Facebook group, you're not responding. I will be there to check your response, right? These companies are nameless, faceless. Half of them are like overseas. Half of them are too big to even bother answering a question. We're seeing your comments here. We're answering. We're checking them out. Which company does that, right? Nobody does it anymore. As they become bigger, it's more harder to, I can understand, but you kind lose sight of your roots, right? So anyway, so hope that is clear, okay? In terms of that one feature, just to repeat again, just this one feature right now, perfect text and images. If you want access to it, you go to that link, artistly.ai/review, okay? You just follow the instructions there. And then you email our support team. We'll enable that in the next couple of hours or so, but definitely by tomorrow, if our team is just, depending on when you mentioned, like it's a midnight, obviously we can do that right away, but you get the point. We have teams, our support team works 7 days a week as well. Okay. That's a fair ask. Do it. No pressure. If not, just wait for like a 14 days so we can make it possible. And this is the reason why we added that new feature as well, which was the beta stuff. Okay. Which was another thing we've done recently, if you recall. So in Artistly, if you go right now, okay, I'll show you if I can pull up my screen. Yeah. Let me actually do that right now. Okay, cool. You see this right now in Artistly. If you go into, say, AI design, agents, for example, you'll see these features with the name beta. You see this beta consistent character storybook, beta multi-character storybook, right? So what is different now is I'm willing to throw any amount of money. Our team is willing to throw, Sid, me, Yash, we're all willing to throw any amount of money at the infrastructure, okay? To make sure we give you the best stuff, okay? But in order to give you the best stuff, there's only two ways. Either we beta test it, meaning for like a couple of months, release it to small number of people. They will tell us what the issues are, blah, blah, blah. And then we release it. And sometimes what happens is that we find out that when we released it, that we can't handle tens of thousands of users, which Artistly has. It's a fair point. A lot of people ask us, how can you sustain this stuff? We have existing users who bought 2 years ago. How can you sustain? Well, the best way is first, we do beta testing, we fine tune it so that we can handle it at a cheaper servers with deals we've signed with some of these big cloud providers many years ago before the ChatGPT hype, right? So I'm willing to do that, right? So then the second way is we just release it with the most expensive stuff out there that we can do, meaning somebody in our engineering team said, okay, I figured it out. The only problem, Paul, is I can only handle 100 users right now. Or if you want thousands of users, it's going to cost you more money. You're going to have to go launch a bunch of servers on all these cloud providers. These AI servers are very expensive. What do you want to do? You'd be a little bit afraid. But now we have a community. We have folks like you encouraging us and to do more, be better, right? Obviously, improve more. The only way is we just give it to you. We'll spend the money, right? But with your feedback, we'll improve it. You understand? That's better too, I feel, where it's a little bit rough around the edges, right? And then with your feedback, we can either make it into a new feature or update the existing feature. Okay. That's exactly what we did. If you look at it here, that I want to talk about is this AI Storybook Studio, right? So one of the things that people always wanted to ask is, hey, look, if I want to upload my own photo and drive the story, where the child is the character and the lead character, whatever, then we will make it into a new category, new feature. One of the questions that came in, I believe it was, I can't remember who asked it, but the question was, can I make my pet, my puppy or my cat or whoever, right? A pet turtle into the character? Not yet, but this is the building block, right? Because we gave the beta to you now. Based on your feedback, we'll just make it into a new option right here. We'll say, we'll make a pet character into the story. If we rush it, where let's say, for example, before we'd be like, okay, let's release it. And then people are like, well, you say it works for pets. It's only working best for these things. That's not a good idea, obviously. So we'd beta test it for a couple of months with a bunch of users. And then we release it too long. Things keep changing. So instead, we'll just release it as a beta feature. We'll make a feature called Pets, being the story, the lead character of the story. Done, right? You can test it. Let us know if it's good. You can upload your different puppy breeds, Labrador, Golden Retriever, whatever. And if it's not working with Golden Retriever or a puppy, whatever, let us know. We'll fix it, right? So that's the idea here. It's rougher on the edges, but these beta features will be ready to go for you, okay? Step number one, that's one thing we've done. The second thing we're also doing, which I believe will be the most valuable thing we've ever done for Artistly in particular, is I kind of let me actually share it here and move this around so you can actually see what I'm trying to explain in more greater detail here, and then I'll be answering all your questions as well. Don't worry, real quick. Okay, so let me actually share my screen here real quick, and
Yep.
then
And just
mhm,
want to add, while Paul is showing the screen, is two things. Yes, that is the link. A lot of people are getting confused that do we need to go to that link that shows 2.5 rating? Yes, that is the link. That is the place where you need to drop the review. Yes, you're correct. Second thing is this bonus feature. We specifically opened it for everyone, regardless. If you're a
if you
commercial
bought the
user,
$49 commercial one, you bought, let's say, the unlimited plan, doesn't matter. You want to give the power of something as powerful as this in your hands. Okay. And that's why I wanted to just say, okay, if, even if you bought the commercial ads, you still want perfect text right now, as good as any other platform, you can use it. So, in other words, if you just bought that $49 or whatever plan and you bought it even 2 years ago, you can come to AI image designer. And let me have to share my screen right now. And then you will see it's right under AI image designer, under the fast designer, perfect text image designer. Okay. The idea is, like I mentioned, can go crazy with this thing. You can do thumbnails, right? You can put like a scroll, right? Like, let's say, ancient Bible scroll where like you want to write the whole text. It can do stuff like that, crazy things. And the beauty here is that we're going to, once we can optimize this thing, we're going to implement it everywhere. Okay. This is the early stages of that thing. And the problem is, as I said, it's going to take us some time. And imagine it's now 100 times more expensive, even if we make it 10 times of the cost. And then now you start putting it in storybooks and these other areas where people are generating hundreds of images, still costs us a lot of money, right? But I don't care at this point, because the idea is that we want usability. We don't want a scenario where people say, and that's the key thing, right? We don't want people to say, well, Artistly is good, it's cheap, it's one time, and I can generate unlimited images. But thing is, this other platform, ChatGPT is better or Google is better, right? Well, maybe today they might be better, okay? But that doesn't mean next week they are, right? You know what I mean? And the beauty is, with the amount of resources we have now, we can confidently say we can compete with these big companies. I can say that with no fear. Before I would be, well, ChatGPT is $1 billion company. They're putting a lot of resources, because what they lack that we have is usability, right? Let's say, for example, we're actually publishing stuff like pet portraits, right? The pet portrait stuff feature, like you see here, you see this pet stylizer feature right now, this one right here, this one right here. Well, this feature was coming out of feature request from you folks. A lot of people are like, in Etsy, I want to publish pet portraits. So I want to upload any pet, right? Whether it's mine or some customers. I want to be able to make that pet into a portrait. Well, we've created that feature. A chat GPT with thousands of people working ain't going to be that focused on customer feedback. That there are a lot of other problems to solve, right? They're looking at the bigger picture, the big stuff, right? So we're looking at the actual real case scenario, real problem solving here. And that makes us confident that in the future, we'll be in good hands. The idea that I mean by good hands, meaning as long as we solve the problems for you folks, the more likely it is that we can get things rolling. Like, one of the biggest features, for example, was like this: has a seamless patterns feature been updated to make it more perfect? This is one of the requests made by our advanced users. Right? The idea with this one was, hey, look, I want to make the seamless patterns go perfect. So meaning, when I want to create a pattern, it's consistently throughout, right? So Yash, this is the one, right? We fixed this one.
Yeah, I just want to say that is, as we are fine tuning that features, a lot of you guys have specific styles that you want seamless patterns. So just give us some couple of more days. As we're already working, that perfect feature will be in your account. Because I gotta test with watercolor style. I gotta test with we have so many different right, like your ink pattern. Your you can say basic pastel style. So I'm making sure that regardless whatever style it is, it's not perfect yet. I just want to say that so that not everyone say like, oh, it's not perfect. It is going to be an upgrade that you're going to get it for absolutely free with V6, but we're going to make sure that it works perfectly. So I myself testing it, sitting with the developer, sitting with the ML team, making sure, hey, it's failing here, fix it. Hey, it's failing there, fix it. I'm going to update it in that category, and in just one click it will be updated this here. So I don't know when you're watching it. So for those of you watching it live, I just want to say that it is not yet perfected for specific styles if you're asking for, and it requires specific prompting. Just like how we figured out the photo restoration feature where it is click, upload, and done. I'm gonna make that seamless pattern coming through, seamless pattern work. That means you just upload, you give it a prompt, it automatically works, enhances it with perfect prompt, right? And it's going to give you the best result. The example I want to show you, Paul, can you show the AI image design, the perfect text and image design? I want to show that. Very important, you know. So what happens is, if you can you type something, let's say any random thing. I wanna say something, yeah. So that enhanced prompt, yeah. So we sit there, right? Sit there with the machine learning engineers and the devs. Hey, this needs to be enabled, basically, no matter how, because I get your issue, right? I'm like that, right? We're not perfect, right? We're not perfect with conveying our idea into a prompt, right? Like, I want to create a poster with this, but I'm not good enough, right? I'm not good at writing prompts, and sometimes AI also, not get my idea. But this thing, this enhanced prompt thing, automatically on, I recommend that, because we make sure that no matter what type of prompt you give, what type of idea you give, it is always going to give you the perfect results. And that's exactly what I wanted to do for seamless patterns, so that no matter what kind of prompt you put, no matter what kind of style you choose, it will always be seamless. I'm checking with those seamless pattern checker, and I want to make sure I'm going to update it in our Meta community, our Facebook community, Facebook group. We have over more than 70,000 members over there. If you haven't joined it, please join it. And also, Paul, I just want to show that as well. On the top right side, there's updates every time a new, because I didn't get a time today. Otherwise, probably tomorrow I'll add all the updates. There's a latest updates every update. So yeah, if you open in your life, every update will be visible, basically. Every update
Yeah, I'll
that
show you
we
that right
make,
now.
yeah, every update that we make will be visible there. So you're not sure, okay, how does this work? I myself, because I developed them with with your feedback, with the help of developers, machine learning engineer, with our entire team, and your feedback made it possible. So I share those quick looms so that you can understand it, what this feature does, and use it for yourself, use it to get the perfect results. And I'm always listening to, right, in the Meta community, always there. I know what things to be worked on, right? There's a whole pipeline that I'm working on. Can't reveal that, because it's so exciting. What you just saw is just the tip of the iceberg, that what Paul will share shortly. But anyways, the idea is to take your feedback, prioritize them based on the votes and based on the number of requests that we get, and kind of ship it to you every single day, every single week, some new feature. Not just this, all the applications that we have of ours, right? Every single day, something new, something better, to get you to the result that you want in the fastest way possible, without you having to break your head and trying 100 different times, right? So that's our goal again, right? So just wanted to add that thing. So Paul, yeah.
Yeah, just made a note. The latest updates will always be posted here, so you can always keep checking there with a quick tutorial. Okay, because one of the things is like I don't have time to go check the roadmap. I don't have time to go check the Facebook group. Sometimes I just want to quickly go check what's happening. Can check there almost daily. We keep posting updates here, what new stuff you're adding in and stuff. And one thing is like it says 6.0. I want to kind of talk about that right now. Okay, so what we did, the major update for version 6.0 here is we've perfected the fundamental features. Okay. What does that mean? In other words, fundamental features. So what we really mean is that text is perfect now, right? So text, we perfected. What did we perfect? Consistency, right? As Yash mentioned, we obviously are gonna perfect, right? The seamless patterns, because we got to account for all kinds of use cases and different types of patterns and stuff like you mentioned, which we're going to do in a couple of days and or so. Right. So now that's the other one, right? So we go on to basically release it when you're totally happy, and we can announce that soon as well. The next thing we've also done, which was a pet peeve of ours, was like, well, I generated 25 images, let's say with the storybooks, right? I want to edit one of the ones which is not that good, let's say. Okay. How do I do that? So we've done that too. Like if you go into like personal designs of any one of your creations, right? Like if you need a storybook, where we've given you the option under the preview, let's say script to storybooks, get storybooks, whatever. Like let's say this was the one. Now you can edit it. Okay. So you can go to preview. You see how it says edit image was a big question people ask, right? So now you can edit it. Let's say, for example, like this is a perfect example. So the grandpa here in this image doesn't have a beard, right? So now you can edit that image and you can say add a beard to the grandpa, right? You know what I mean? So you can make that change. So you can say add a beard to the grandpa character or something like that, right? And then now you can submit it. What it's going to do is it's going to only going to edit that design now. You see, just that design. So because see here he had a beard, here he doesn't have a beard. Let's say so we want to edit that image and add a beard exactly for that image. So now you don't have to generate the 25 images or whatever again to get the result you want, right? A big thing, right? Like people were asking us that question, like there. So you see this? It's black beard now. Obviously you can edit it. Add a white beard to the grandpa, right? You can keep changing it, right? And then until you're happy, you can do this, obviously, right? And you can play around with it. This is the same thing with colors. Let's say they have a hat on once and they don't have a hat otherwise and stuff. We fix this stuff 99% of the time, but there will always be those cases where out of tens of thousands of users, a few of them, it doesn't come perfect, whatever, right? Doesn't matter. Let's say the elephant here is wearing red, it's wearing like, I don't know, some green thing or something. You can keep switching it through that edit image now, okay? So you don't have to generate all 25. It's actually good for us too, because we don't want you to generate 25 images because one image is bad, right? It's going to save us a lot of server resources and time, right? To be able to generate these images perfectly that you want. So we've done this as well. Why am I sharing this aspect to you? Well, it's because V6, the fundamentals have been fixed now. So stuff like this we can focus on. Okay. So let me repeat that again. In V6, what we did is we fixed and perfected the fundamentals, the basics, right? That is what we did, right? So in V6, we fixed it. So what does that mean? In other words, we can focus on seamless patterns next. Instead of breaking our head saying majority of the users, 99% of users will get impacted if text is not perfect, let's say, big paragraphs of text. Or, hey, look, consistency. Like when people are trying to generate 25-page, 30-page storybooks, one or two images, the beard is off or like whatever. They want to edit it. Okay, let's put resources there to make that possible. Okay, people are asking, okay, they want 2, 3, 4 consistent characters for the script to storybook functionality. Okay, 4 characters. How do we get around doing that? Okay, we did all that now, right? Like if you look at it, let me recap one more time what all we've done, because sometimes people join in late and stuff. I'll get back to that point. Okay. So what did we do? What did we do? We did perfect text and images. Okay. This is the one where we threw a huge bunch of resources added, where we are recommending you to just, if you want this feature, just go to artisty.ai/review, just this one feature. If you want it today with the it's going to take about 30 seconds to generate right now one of these images, because we are using the best of the best servers. Huge quality we're maintaining here. So it takes those 30 seconds. We want to make it more shorter and also use a cheaper server, obviously, to be able to handle tens of thousands of users. So that'll happen in a couple of weeks. You want this today? Just give it a review, and that link there, it's free, takes you 2 minutes, okay? Just to help us grow and continue. Now, the
Yep.
other thing that I wanted to mention here, real quick as well. So let me show you. That's one for the review, and that's it. Don't have to do a review for anything else. All these are direct access. Script to storybook, we've added that in right now with multi-character consistency. Okay, so that means up to 4 characters you can use in the script to storybook feature. We've also added in the personalized child hero storybooks, we're calling it. What does that mean? You can upload a photo and then you can make consistent 3D character storybooks with a child as a hero. Now, one important thing I want to mention here. Look, one of the questions that came in on this one, which I want to address here, is what about privacy, right? Like, what are you going to do? Like, what about privacy? I just want to kind of address this a little bit, because I understand as a parent myself, like I have a 1-year-old child right now. So what we're going to do is very simple. When you upload a photo, and this can be AI generated too, by the way, but let's say you upload a photo of the child, what you can do is once the cartoons are, let's say the storybooks are done, when you delete the images, they get deleted from our servers too. So let's say you created a storybook, you're happy with it, and you delete it from your personal designs, they're never in our servers. We don't actually publish them to the public gallery either, unless you choose to, that is. So that's private to you always. The third thing as well that we're doing is effectively when you upload the photo, we don't save the uploaded photo once the cartoon is created. So let me explain. So let's say, for example, this cartoon got created, right? You uploaded this photo, right? Say this was step number one, and this was step number two. The step number one photo we don't save in our servers. Once the AI generates that, we delete it. We don't care. Why would we need it, right? So just want to be clear on that front, because as a parent, I understand. Okay, and if there are other things we can do as we go along, we'll obviously take it more seriously and keep doing it. And this is another reason why I just want to be very clear. We do not allow and not safe for our adult content, right? We do not allow it, right? So we do not allow it. Put an X here. We lose some money doing it, right? Some people want to create that. I personally don't want to put that into the platform. And more importantly, also, I want to make sure that people understand that when we work with companies, right? Like let's say right now we want to get Amazon servers and we want to work with their engineers and help us to make sure that the servers would work, or Google or whoever we're working with, right? Big companies. Their condition is very simple. Make it family friendly, right? The application should be family friendly, and just make it more that way when we are trying to work with you, we don't have any issues, right? Later on with compliance and stuff like that. So again, that's the other additional safety guard that we have in place, just so you understand, okay? We lose some sales because of it. Okay, that's fine. At the end of the day, it's okay looking at long term. We don't want like to please 100 users, like tens of thousands of users, even hundreds of thousands of users get impacted. It's not the goal anyways, right? It's fine, whatever. We get hated on, right? It's okay. But I just want to make sure that's another benefit for people who are aunts, uncles, grandparents, brothers, sisters, parents, right? Grandparents, whatever. I understand, right? You want to be sure that when you're uploading a photo, you want it not to be used anywhere. You don't want this data to be leaked or used for any training purposes or whatever, anything like that. Okay. Hope that makes sense. If anything else you have suggestions on it, as a parent myself, I understand. As a father myself, I also understand that. So please let us know. Don't hesitate. It'll come straight to me. Address it to me in our support desk, support@artistry.ai. Happy to implement any other safety measures you want us to put. Okay, no problems. Okay, just want to be clear on that front. All right. Now the next thing we added in is image to coloring book conversion. So this one is more automated now. You just upload it and it'll convert it. You don't have to put any prompting, right? Which kind of slows things down, obviously. And the other new feature was the advanced added coloring books. So the same concepts here will be utilized for the seamless patterns update, okay? We just have to add more patterns and some testing we got to do. Yash is going to be doing that. We're going to announce that in the next few days, okay? Once people roll out that, we're going to talk about that next as well. Okay, just give us a few more days because we want to make sure that we, onboard all of you folks to start using these updates, okay? Now, the final update, this one was sketch to 3D renderings. We fixed some small minor things, which I'll get to as we go along with your questions, because they do answer some of the things we want to discuss. So sketch to 3D render is good for real estate architecture, or you just want to convert a sketch into a drawing or whatever. Beautiful for real estate, construction, anything of that nature, right? Interior design, you get the point, right? And then, as I mentioned before, some of these storybook features, as you know, they're for the unlimited premium elite customers, right? Even if you got it 2 years ago, it doesn't matter. Now, just this one feature, because it's where you give a review and you get that access to that feature, it's for everybody. Even if you bought the $400 commercial license, whatever, doesn't matter. Once you give the review, it's good to go. Because it should be a standard feature down the line. Just give us 2 weeks or so, 3 weeks or so to make it faster. It takes 30 seconds on the most expensive server in the planet, which costs $100 an hour right now. Ridiculous, but it is what it is. We want to make sure, because for what happens, just so you understand, on an architecture infrastructure basis, first we have to generate the text, then we generate the image, the second part, and then we got to figure out a way to merge all of them. In the past, what would happen is if you want to generate where the font change, like you see this font right here, is Arial. This is like Times New Roman, you know what I mean? The fonts will not be there. The color themes, the other elements of that will not be perfect. So what we did is like we basically focused on that. So it takes like 5 times the resources or 10 times the resources that it would take for the normal feature, okay? This is one thing. Where would you find that feature? So when you go into the Artistly app, okay, And by the way, here's the beard. Okay. Remember, I want to come back to that. People will say, well, you kind of went on a tangent, you forgot. So this is the grandpa's beard. Okay. Just so you know, one with a beard. Okay. I edited that one image. Now you can convert that into storybook, right? You know how to do that. You basically create the flip book or you create the storybook, and then you can basically do that. Okay. Just want to be clear. Now, the other stuff that we've done is we've also updated and fine-tuned the human stylizer feature as well. So I want to talk about that. So if you recall, the human stylizer feature, okay, which basically is under the AI design assistance. Let me actually show you where it was, right? So under AI design assistance, you had the human stylizer feature, right? Actually, this was under, I believe, AI design agents. My bad, right? Um, where's that feature, Yash, right now?
Yeah, we
AI
added it the
here.
assistant.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
will
yeah.
start.
Sorry, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Human stylizer here. Okay. So under the AI design assistant, this one. Okay. So in the live stream, anything can happen, right? So anyway, so here we were like having everybody come in here. Okay, I want to restore my photo. People will come, upload a photo, and then they'll have to put a big prompt. So what we did instead is, hey, look, you want photo restoration? Just use this features. Optimized, ready to go. Upload any amount of photos, press one button, it'll restore it. So that's what we are planning on doing for everything. Okay. So one of the things that like one of the pet peeves that people have was also like the pet stylizer, right? I want to have different styles for the pet stylizer. Added that in. You see this origami, pixel, and stuff. Instead of you trying to prompt it, because AI should make your life easy, not harder. Try being a typewriter or something, right? You don't want to do that. So that was the basic goal for this. Okay. So that we'll be doing more of that now, because after V6, we're confident that we have the best foundational basics done correctly. Okay. It took us a while. It took AI a while to catch up to it. So now you can focus on the more advanced user specific requests. So we will go into the roadmap and go and battle every single feature right now. Okay. So our roadmap, as you can see here, is that right there, roadmap.artistly.ai. So you folks can go and, effectively go in and publish what you want as the feature. You can vote for it. This will be the priority now for us. Okay. We may not name it V7 right away, but we will start making small updates now that is specific to your requests, which comes down to the next thing I want to talk about. I've been seeing your comments. I hear you. Okay. I do hear you. One of the questions that came in, obviously, one of them was this one: has the seamless patterns been updated to make it more perfect? Right. Yes. That's what we are trying to do in the next few days to make it even better. Another question came in was, why is the photo restoration as a separate tab? I just mentioned it. Make it easier. We're going to do more of that now. Ease of use will be the focus going forward. Another one that came in quite a bit was this one, which is, look, I created a flip book, right? This is my flip book, let's say, that I just created, like I can read or whatever, right? This, the farmer and the elephant or whatever. Now, can I download it as an MP4 video? Because right now, what's happening here? So you can play it, you can share it, you can even share it with your Artistly affiliate link, so that if somebody comes in and buys Artistly, then you'll get credited for the sale as an affiliate, which you will get, again, access to our affiliate program for the leading review, right? We don't want to give it to everybody because it's hard to manage affiliates, especially if they're, not familiar with affiliate marketing and that sort of things, right? So anyway, you want to flip it and stuff. You want to turn this into a video was one of the requests. So see, for this to work, right? Let's be clear here. What has to happen? First, we have to, first of all, fix the consistency, right? Where it's not a beard one time, then the beard another time, the dress and stuff. We fixed it finally with the V6 update that we released today, correct? The other thing now is, okay, can I create more than 25 or 30, whatever, pages in the storybook? Well, that can only happen if the fundamentals can be fixed, correct? And if the text here is also perfect, there's no spelling errors or all this stuff, right? And this other question was, okay, well, do you see these styles that you're putting in here? Can you basically give us the option to generate them with a prompt? Very good point. That's a very common thing people ask us the next stage. We cannot do that if everybody's complaining about this, isn't it? So 90%, just so you understand, 90% of our time in the last few months has been to make the foundational features perfect, because it impacts 99 to 100% of the users, correct? So if, let's say, 15% of the users say, look, I want the ability to change these elements here to customize or whatever, now that will be the focus. Okay. Hope that is clear. You let me know. Just in the chat box if that's making sense to you, please. So I understand you get exactly what I'm trying to explain here. So then To answer the question, can I export this flip book into a MP3 file to upload into YouTube? Well, we will work on that next if majority of the people will want that as a feature, correct? So that's the other thing I want to mention. So I do hear you. We hear your feedback. It's not like we don't. It's just that you have to understand. If everybody generates a video now and then somebody uploads to YouTube and then the first comment that they see on that video is, look, the grandpa doesn't have a beard sometimes. Is it AI generated or whatever? Is it AI slop or whatever is the mention? It looks bad on us, right? Looks bad on artistry or bad on whatever. So we want to get the foundational stuff right. When we are 100% confident, like we are with V6, that we are there, then we'll start looking at your feature suggestions. Let's say another feature suggestion is like, we want to make different languages here. That's next. If you perfect the images, work on the text, correct? Next. So that'll be what we want to do. Okay. Hope that is clear. Okay. Now, that being said, what we're going to do now for the next few minutes is answer some questions, okay? Because I want to make sure that the time you folks spent here is valuable, right? So while I am going through the questions right now, I'll bring Yash on as well here. So we'll go through it.
Yep.
So
So
yeah, Yash, did you see any questions? No, I'll pass on.
yes. Yeah. So first question. People are getting confused that unlimited and elite. It's can you explain that? The difference between unlimited and elite.
Okay, so the question was difference between unlimited and elite. What's the difference? All right. So let's actually pull that up here real quick. Okay. So I'll talk about that right now so you folks can understand it. It should be easy for you to understand, but it's okay. Cool. No worries. All right. So when you go into the Artistly main website, okay, so we are going to be coming, well, let's do it this way. All right. So if you come into the main Artistly website, you'll come and you'll see this, right? Artistly commercial, all right, and Artistly premium, okay? So premium, the other word to use is unlimited. Okay, let's use that word unlimited as well, because initially, 2 years ago, we only had one plan. We never had this plan at all. We just wanted to get more people onboarded, so we added this later on. So the premium, as you can see here, has all the features, correct? Access to all features, blah blah blah, right? And then it's $147. And then the commercial doesn't have access to all the features like storybooks and stuff, which requires 30 images and once. That's the $49. Okay. So if a person, okay, let's say thought, okay, I don't know who this Paul guy is, Paul Plana guy, whatever. I don't know who this Artistly brand is. I don't know. I've never heard about it. So let me get my feet wet, right? I'm just going to get the commercial license. I'm going to try it out, what features are available and all that kind of stuff. And then they get, let's say, the $49 option, right? Then they get it like, wow, the customer support team, they have a Microsoft Teams group, they have a Facebook group, they have a WhatsApp group, they have all this other support that they have live training. That's awesome. I want to now upgrade to this premium plan. Okay. Because they already paid 49, it would not be fair to be able to say, okay, pay 49 and now again to upgrade do 147. Correct. So that is where the elite plan comes in. Okay. In other words, you got the 49 and then you go in, you can upgrade to elite, which is the difference in price between that premium unlimited plan, where I think it's just under $100 or whatever. So when you get that, then you basically effectively get everything. Okay. So to answer simply, the question is, effectively, when you get Artistly today, obviously the price might increase down the line in the future. So don't quote me on this later on. But today, as of now, when you pay 147 or around there, just under $150 in totality, okay, you never have to buy anything else again with Artistly. Okay. In other words, the updates that we made today is free. You understand? The updates we make in the future are free. The version V5, when we released it, was free for V4 users. V4 was free for V3 users. You get the point, right? So to put it in perspective, once you get this plan, so to simplify this, once you get something along here, then you never have to buy anything again. No credits extra to buy, no extra features to buy. Let's say we did V6 here today, which had additional updates and new features. You don't have to buy that. Okay. Is that clear? Why this is critical for you to understand, and that's what I was trying to mention here, is that a person who purchased this $49 option, say, let's say a year ago, and now they're like, that's cool, I want to upgrade. There's an option in your account to be able to do so. In your Artistly account, you can go into My Purchases area. You see this right here, My Purchases, this right here, and you can upgrade anytime there. You can go and you can just buy the difference, right? and you can get it in and get access to everything. So meaning what we will not do, just to be clear, okay? So if you just go to Google, I'll show you Chat GPT Pro pricing, right? I'll just show you, just so you understand. And again, I don't want to single them out, but just being clear, right? So if you look at the Chat GPT plans, right? I'll show you. Uh, they have that API. Well, sorry, ChatGPT. Yeah. So see, introducing ChatGPT Pro, correct? This was last year, December 2024. What they did is, well, if you want the latest, greatest stuff, pay us $200 a month. Okay. So now, just to be clear, we're not doing this, right? Let me repeat that again. We are not saying later on, like when you get Artistly, let's say, let me go back here. Like, let's say you go into the Artistly main page or whatever, like here, we're not saying like, okay, you got this 147, $150, or you got the 49 and then the other upgrade inside, which is the only one to get the same access level as this one. Now we added a new tier called Artistly, whatever, Magic Premium Elite Mega Access or something. No, we're not doing anything like that. This was the pricing. This is the pricing. Maybe you'll raise it up a bit later on, but for everybody else, it'll be grandfathered in. Okay. Is that clear? So just let me explain. If you ever got Artistly and you got it for under $150 total, meaning you got it for 49 and then another $100 or just under $100 after that to upgrade, you'll not be asked to buy anything. Or alternatively, you're like, dude, I just that doesn't matter. I just bought this premium plan because you said everything is unlimited here, all access to all features. Paul, you mentioned this access to all features. So therefore, that means even when you say V6 has these extra features, like making your child into a superhero or whatever it might be, right? Seamless patterns, a little bit updated, or let's say it was, for example, perfect text, doesn't matter, right? I expect you to give it to me. Fair enough. That's what we are doing. So we're not adding a new plan. Unfortunately, what's happening is once the precedent has been set, right? When ChatGPT said $200 a month, everybody, especially these overseas platforms competing against Artistly, right, they've been starting to create the same system because now they can say ChatGPT did it, we are doing it too. Meaning, in other words, what they're doing is they're saying, look, even if you bought this, you want our latest, greatest stuff that is only for this new plan or new tier we created. We are not doing that. Okay. Just so you understand. And I mean, those who know the value we provide, obviously, right? If you have a full-time engineering team working and a machine learning team working on Artistly every single day to make an update. So when you say, just as an example, okay, I want to clearly show you. So we discussed this, right? Perfect text and image design, right? Just this alone, this feature alone, for example, requires engineering resources, right? A machine learning engineer or an AI engineer has to sit and test it across different aspect ratios. All these has to test it to see if it will work across different types of images, thumbnails. You get the point, right? Such that when you come here, an image like this is possible. It should not be like, Paul, you said perfect long text. Well, I tried to create something and it was not perfect or whatever, right? Or you're going to say, Paul, you said unlimited image generation. So it should not be like that. So for example, if you go into my personal designs, I've tested, right? Different ways to do it. So you see this, I tested this one, create perfect long paragraphs of text using Artistly v6 beta feature. I did it this way. I also did it this way, for example, see, create perfect long whatever, right? So you're not, and because of the fact you can generate any amount of these, you can always tweak it, make it better, edit it, like whatever you want to do. You can bring in the designer, whatever, right? So, and it will only make it better with time. Okay. This feature will only get better. I don't claim it to be 100% perfect. Maybe it'll fail a few times here and there, but hey, you're not being charged for every image you generate, right? You can generate more and get the result you desire in the style that you desire. And the prompting style, we've given you the AI prompt enhancer. So just use that AI prompt enhancer always, okay, for this feature to work really well. So in other words, what I mean is to get the best output for this feature, you go into this here, you say perfect design, say sign holding uh, something like Artistly is the best. Always make sure that this enhance prompt is turned on because we do some magic behind the scenes to make sure that it's as perfect as possible. Okay. Just want to be sure. So you just don't come and paste it from ChatGPT or something without this on. Okay. It'll just be better because we've done some magic behind the scenes to make it perfect. All right. Just want to be clear on that. All right.
And a couple of points to make there. So we see your comments. So specifically, Rhonda one of our amazing members, she mentioned that I've been getting a lot of requests regarding this, right? Which is, how do I create it in my style? How do I prompt it? So two answers. First, we already worked on it, so not a lot of people notice, but under AI image designer v6, right, you will see an option called artistic designer. If you see that, yeah, artistic designer, that is specifically just after the perfect text and image designer, there's something called artistic designer. Can you pin? Yeah, yeah, that one exactly, the artistic one exactly. So this one does all kind of, right. I've been getting all the comments, the like alcohol ink style and watercolor style, some more brushes, strokes and everything. That does very good. Yeah, we specifically worked for that, right. Now there is like, I actually don't want to reveal this, but still you guys are asking her about that, and we got so many great response so far. Is working on something, yeah, called style remixer. That means you will just give it a style of image you want. It's called AI style remixer. It will be, again, amazing update, they're gonna love it. But you're gonna give it the style of image and prompt it. It will generate that new image in that style. A lot of you guys asked for it. Almost done, ship it. Just finishing up with the seamless pattern and all that. So just like these, Paul, support team, or developers, engineers, and everyone, we are the pulse of all your requests. It's just that these are so many requests, we prioritize them one by one by one, and we don't release until it is perfected, or we are sure that okay, it's going to give you good enough results, and we launch them as instant beta features, and you can use them, share your feedback. We're going to make it perfect, remove the beta tag out of that, and it will be basically work as normal, right? So anyways, that's one thing I want to
Yeah,
add. And any question?
point.
Yeah.
So we have that Facebook group too. So this is the group here, artistly.ai/FP. You can go there. This is our main 70,000 user strong group that you can join in and give your feedback and comments and that sort of thing. And just so you understand, okay, because we don't run any free accounts or something like that with Artistly, these are paying customers, okay, of Artistly and our applications. So that means you understand that when you go here, okay, I have I'll open this up real quick. So if you go into that page, so let's just go in here real quick. So if you go into artistly.ai/FP, right? You're going to come into a group that looks something like this, 70,500 customer. I'm just showing you how it will look like, right? So just so you understand, right? This group is a gold mine because these are actual customers like yourself that you can interact with, share ideas and all that kind of stuff. And the other beauty is this is the reason why we are still surviving, and not just surviving, but thriving. Okay. What does that mean exactly? That means like this right here, okay, this group of people are the reason why, because of word of mouth, right? When 70,000 people have a word of mouth that they suggest to other customers, friends, or relatives, or family, whatever of theirs that they want to suggest, that's like word of mouth, right? And that we didn't have to spend extra money on influencers and all that kind of stuff. What we are seeing right now, just for reference that okay, this was built with zero money spent on influencer marketing, okay? We never, for these members right here, as you can see, you can join in this group right here, it's free to join. Like we never paid any social media influencer, okay, can you promote Artistly and say good things about that? We never paid anybody. You see all these other platforms out there, they'll pay $5,000 per post or whatever, in order to influence somebody to say good things about their product, right? In a way, in terms of big influencers. So what happens then is effectively, through word of mouth is how we're growing. We don't have like some big celebrity endorsing artists and paying them hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? So word of mouth is the only thing that we have that nobody else has. Okay. So that's the group, artistly.ai/FP. You can join it. Now, the other thing that I wanted to also mention here real quick, if you go into the Artistly application, see the perfect text to image thing that I wanted to mention here. This right here, okay, once we perfected it, when we fine tune it and we make it as good as possible, it'll be everywhere in Artistly. Okay, so the base outline, like let's say, for example, because there's a beta feature right now, we want to give it to select group of people to test and let us know. It'll be in all the features. You don't have to even say, okay, I'm only going to use a perfect text, long text feature, but in the future, you know that this is now good. You're happy. You gave us feedback to improve it. It'll be in all the features, whether the storybook, whether it is product mockups, whether it is t-shirt designs. You get the point. It'll be implemented everywhere in the near future. It's just going to take us some time. As I said, that's how the AI application cycle works. Initially, we spend huge amount of money on NVIDIA AI server resources. Then what we do is we make it a little bit cheaper, better to be able to be available for the mass market. But since now you can get access to it with your feedback, we can focus on those features that really matter, right? Where does this implement? Secondly, the other great benefit that we have, and this is another thing I want to mention here, is this, imagine, will then be implemented into Video Express, our sister application. Let's say, for example, that focuses on videos, right? VideoExpress.ai, which directly Artistly integrates with. So now, when a feature is extremely well liked, well appreciated by Artistly members, for example, we'll implement that into Video Express as a direct integration as an Artistly customer and a Video Express customer. That is another big benefit that we have, because now, let's say, for example, this feature was highly requested for a specific use case in Video Express. Hey, it's the same dev team, same machine learning team, same people behind it. So we can quickly implement it there, and not only implement it, but train it. And we hear your feedback, and there is that sharing of mastermind knowledge, as you will, right? And that will allow us also to speed up the improvement process, and vice versa, right? If any improvement was in Media Express that Artistry would benefit, we'll do the same thing. And that will allow us to speed up, meaning, like, let's say an engineer or a machine learning researcher or whatever is not spending twice the amount of time, one for Artistly, one for Media Express. The innovation is split both ways, right? It works both ways. Similar to, like, if your best example would be in the case of Apple, right? They make an innovation, they will implement it in iPhone, iPad, MacBook Pro, and also their iMac, correct? Same concept. So when we make an innovation in one application, it'll apply across others as well, which is a huge benefit and huge time-saving thing for you as well down the line. Okay, just another quick thing, because with V6 now we can achieve all that and speed of improvement. The final thing I wanted to mention here, while we go answer some questions as well, was also about just generally feature requests, right? I'll just write this question down, right? What about my feature request? Why aren't you taking it seriously? Let's say, right? Let's say this is the thing. Let's say that's the point blank question. I'll write it down here right now. So, what about my feature request? Why are you not taking it seriously, Paul? Right? Because I wanted it in a certain way. I want adult coloring books. We did that. But let's say seamless patterns, I want it in a certain way. Or folder structure, right? So, for example, you put the tags here. That's great, Paul. Like, I want it to also go into a folder. Let's say that was the other request. Okay. See, the thing is, that's specific to you and maybe a couple of percentage points of Artistly users, right? Maybe a couple hundred, whatever. The problem is, first, we have to fix what will apply to 100% of the users, right? Then, like text or like consistency of the characters or whatever, before we get into the specific features that people have, correct? So one thing that I wanted to mention here is we hear every single feedback that you have. We also have that roadmap that you can suggest, as I mentioned before, correct? That you can go in roadmap.artistly.ai. So I left that link up for you as well, that you can go in and quickly get up and running, remember? But the thing I'm trying to get across here that I want you to understand is, this was the link, by the way, just so that I put that up for you here. This was a roadmap Artistly. This is where you can upvote, and whoever has the best suggestions, we can go in there. Now, this one will be a little bit slower to update, obviously, because we want to focus on the foundations, the basics. Now that we have it, we'll focus on that. Now, to answer your question, but why is my feature request not there? Well, until now, we've been focusing on specifically making the foundational basic stuff, which is so crucial that 100% of the users will get impacted by it, as 90% of our resources were spent there, correct? Now that we know we have all these other stuff properly done, now we will go one by one based on your feature requests, one by one, in resolving specific issues. Okay. A perfect example was that edit button, right? In the case of storybooks, let's say if you go consistent character, let's say storybook functionality or whatever you have, right? In my personal designs, I have, let's say, the storybook option or whatever it might be, script to storybook, let's say, or you go into the flipbooks option, right? You have it, right? Whatever it might be. Okay. This is the different server I'm in. Let me go to the main one. Oops. Just give me a second. See, live, anything can happen. Okay. Anyway, this is the one. Right. So like let's see here, right? So if you go in here, if you go into any of your storybooks, right? Like I have this one right here, I have this one with this right here. Let's say, for example, if you didn't like this clothing this child or this character was doing, you can now edit the image, correct? See this edit image. So this took us a while to implement. Why? Because first, even if we give you the edit image, don't you agree with me that it's better to fix the foundational problem first, where if on the 25 pages, one page or one of the images, it was not perfect, right? Where the hair color changed, the clothing style changed. So we fixed that as a foundational feature. Now you want this edit image option, very easy for us to focus all our resources on that, okay? And that will help us speed up the update cycle. What's happening in the AI space, just for reference, so you folks understand, right? I kind of try to stress this point across, is that updates, right, are very, very fast. Okay. Okay. So what does that mean exactly? And how does that impact you? So historically, right, we've been in software development well over 15 years now. Okay. I've been building software since I was like 17 years old. Right. So now the point is, the difference was back in the day, or just not back in the day, before the AI hype or a rage, let's say, or a revolution, we can say, what would happen is we would update a product, let's say, and then we would say 2 or 3 months, right? Once every 2 or 3 months, we'll make an update, and then we will say, okay, we've also fixed the bugs every single day, whatever, right? Now with AI, the cycle is like every week, okay, weekly, okay. Now, imagine the challenge with that. Okay. So imagine like you want things to be fast because ChatGPT introduced something, Google introduced something, or some like 100 other companies have some other new thing, correct? And what's happening with this is around the world. I mean, this is not just our problem, it's for every single company. We have a whole bunch of engineers and team members, marketing team, let's say, or our training team, like me, Yash, Ali, Sid. We grew up with a model where every 3 months or so we make an update. Now we got to shift into weekly stuff. What happens if you update everything every week? Things break because you didn't take the time every 2 months, 3 months to do beta testing, test that feature, do all that stuff before you release it, right? And then the situation is, if we wait 2 months, something gets even better. So therefore, you want the best stuff so you can proudly use it in your business and in your life, right? So what we've decided is we're gonna release the features and name them as beta so that you get it. Okay, it might not be as fast. Let's say it might take 25 seconds or 30 seconds to generate instead of 5 or 6 or 7 seconds it takes now. But we're going to give it to you. You use it, you give us feedback, and we'll improve it. Secondly, the other thing that we are doing is that entire company wide, what we are doing is that we're overhauling our entire system so that we're focused on the future in mind. Okay. So what does that mean exactly? We're buying better infrastructure, we're buying better platforms and stuff like that, such that when we make these updates, we are keeping in mind that our team can do it bug free and make it such that at this rapid pace, everybody's adapted to it. Okay. Adaptability is also there. So this is a major change and everybody's going through it and we're getting better and better with it. We wouldn't say we're perfect here. So that means in the future, as time goes on, you will see that when we're making updates every week, we may not mention it as Artistly V7. We mention it as we mention it 6.1, 6.3, whatever. Instead, we're just going to keep releasing them. You're going to see them under the updates tab, right? You see this? You're going to see them in the latest updates tab. Okay. You're going to see them here. Okay. And similarly, if you see here, I purposely did this here. You see, there are certain times that we used to have these issues, right? Some images come up with these issues. So I repeated one of the customer's requests. So stuff like this, we'd be like, okay, we want to fix it, but we don't want to name it Artistly V7 or whatever. Well, now we have a system in place where we fix stuff like this almost every day. Okay. So you'll see them in the latest updates tab here. Okay. When it's of importance. If not, it's a bug, we just fix it and you can log in since it's a cloud application and it's automatic. You don't have to download an update. You don't have to have that computer speed to run that update. It doesn't matter, right? We run it all on the cloud. You can even use your laptop, your let's say iPad or whatever. It's still the same power because everything is behind the scenes doing all the work for you behind the scenes. Okay. So hope that is clear. Yes, you're seeing any other questions? We'll answer questions for 5 more minutes, folks. After that, what we will do is, obviously the next week's training, we're going to go more Q&A stuff as we go along. And obviously as well, we are always monitoring our Facebook group and the community as we keep getting questions. If some things are rougher on the edges, okay, please understand that we just released this update. Things a little bit slow. Obviously, it's going to be because we just released this update. Things are going to be much better as we know what the issues are as things go along. Okay.
Yep. So yeah, I just want to add a few more things as I'm checking from the comments. Is number one, when will I get the perfect text? Again, it was gonna take basically anywhere between next 24 to 48 hours. As the team gets your ticket, they'll enable it. It's gonna
Yeah, I'm
go.
just going to say 24 hours. We're going to push our team to get it thing as quickly as possible. The only scenario is, let's say we couldn't find your email address, let's say, right? Because your email that you sent our email with is not matching the account email of Artistic. Cases like that might take a little bit longer for us to find you. But if it's straightforward, we'll get it to you as soon as possible. Okay. It shouldn't take much time.
All right, yeah, and I think that's pretty much it from my side. I hear your suggestions, I hear your request. Everything is gonna be done regardless, just step by step. All your feature, being able to edit the storybook text, it's in works. Being able to create images in my own style, it's getting worked. Voices, my voice, this, everything is getting worked on. And as you get more requests, as you share more feedback, as you share more suggestions and what we call constructive criticism, we take it with proud, like, okay, this is the thing, we're gonna address that. Yes, there's a bug, we're fixing it. Once fixed, we are adding that, updating you guys, and just like that, again, artistly V7. Look, sorry, V6. How far we have came. I still remember doing the webinar. I think last year or something like that. I got V4, V3. We came a long way, and it's just credit goes to you, because the suggestions, the feedback. How can I automatically think that, okay, I need this feature? It's just because of you. It is possible. Every feature, every detail, this edit button, that button, this feature, upload, bulk actions, agents, assistants, all sorts of crazy stuff, and going to get forward. Oh, another hint that what generally we does not, like, we don't generally don't do that. Sometimes expect some surprise calls from me as well. A lot of times in the meta group, I just, like, let's say for example, I've been getting a lot. I've been getting on a call one on one, right, with a lot of you folks. Like, okay, share your feedback, share your suggestions, and we are planning to do it with a more what we call office hours, where let me know what you think about it, guys. So where we are thinking is, okay, we're gonna once a week or something, just like we do the talking every week, right? That we get it, right? But we want to give you an opportunity to speak, share, collaborate, and connect with other folks, with our growing community of more than 70,000, even more than that, because a lot of people don't join the Facebook group, right? Is an ability to come on our office hour group call with your webcam or whatever it is, and you can contribute, you can ask questions directly to me, the dev teams, if needed, right? Share your feedback so that you get heard, you get seen, you get your word out there, and their community always supporting. So we are thinking something like that. Let me know what you think about it. I'm going to make sure that I see your comments, and we're going to make it possible. So just like this, every single week, there will be office hours. And those office hours are going to bring just folks like you, but video on, right? You can chat, communicate, share, if you want to share feedback, anything, we're going to openly take it. And we didn't even cover that, a lot of time, there's so many updates. All those golden nuggets that I used to share 3 to 4 years ago, they have changed. Like, the rules have changed, the playbooks have changed. What's working right now? Because we didn't really go into the marketing side of things, right? How to get sales, how to run advertisements, what's working. Because we are doing that, right? You're probably seeing Artistly ads everywhere on your television. What strategies are we using there? On your phone, on Instagram, on Pinterest, on YouTube, or whatever you are using, Artistly is following you, right? what strategies we are following, that what I am seeing in the industry, where it is heading, so you can be prepared and get that live update. Not from the no, not from the perspective of like, okay, this is our tool, buy it, but in the perspective of here's what's the macro thing, here's where we are heading, here's the situation. Because now we are as the full stack, right? We keep an eye on the ML AI side of thing, and we forgot about the marketing, right? That's our bread and butter, right? So I keep going to share, you can bring up, I know now we have a lot of amazing business owners, small business owners, big e-commerce owners, coaches and everything. And then you have any questions, right? For example, okay, I want to run an advertisement created using Artistly. What's the step-by-step way to do it? Might not be able to cover in the weekly, or might not be able to show you or get your questions answered, but that opportunity, right, is going to give you like, okay, so let's say, for example, right, Tammy wants to speak. Okay, Tammy, go ahead. What's your question? Okay, some SEO hacks. What are we seeing? The thumb, like, what are we seeing? What's working for us? What's working for other people? What's working across the board? So let me know. We'll plan that
Yeah,
out.
so just a quick addition to this, I want to add it from a perspective that you folks can actually appreciate as well, right? So this is going to be more like, okay, come in, you can answer a question, we can see you as well. Maybe there's like 40, 50 people, little screens on the screen. And then we'll also, if you are okay with it, we'll post it as recording in our Facebook group and also send it to the other users so they can get some value. The main idea that I want to stress is this point, right? Which is, what is planned for Artistly V7? Haven't we done everything we wanted to do with AI design, right? This is the ultimate point, isn't it? Because if you think about it, right, what are other folks doing out there? They're like, okay, I've done AI image. We're gonna just focus on, let's say, music, or we're gonna put some other obscure thing, right? Calling AI calling agent or something. For the problem is, what is it working correctly right now? As an example, right now, like if this perfect text and image designer, why are we excited about it? Because we drink our own Kool-Aid. This is perfect for thumbnails, right? Like, I mean, let me put this like YouTube thumbnails. You get my point? One of the big problems people would say was, well, like I want to do the mirror magic feature where I took a YouTube thumbnail, uploaded it, but the text is not perfect now. Okay. So we drink our own Kool-Aid. So the thumbnail that you're watching this YouTube live stream was AI made. It's not made by a professional graphic designer like back in the day. So when we know something is off, right, we can go fix it because we're actually using it right now. Secondly, the thumbnails for, let's say, our YouTube channels, or let's say Facebook groups, or for social media marketing, our own ads that we used to sell artistically, image ads, video ads, whatever it might be. What is working, what's not working? We're the only ones in the industry, I would say, who drink our own Kool-Aid. You'll see oftentimes people claim they're an AI design software, but their own landing pages don't use their own designs, right? That the AI application can do. They say they're an AI video tool, but their own videos that they use for, let's say, their tutorials, or let's say their sales materials, is not the videos that's generated with that application, correct? And if you see, the thing is, transparency matters, right? If you're not drinking your own Kool-Aid, how are you going to know what issues people have before they even ask you, correct? So the point I'm making is, with Artistly V7, before we even get to that discussion at this point, it's not the frequency of updates that matter. It's the perfection and usability of the key features and what they are working for. For example, if you come to me and you say, okay, Paul, right, like, consistent characters, train your own AI, right? I want to upload my photos and generate it. This is the old way of doing things. The reality is, the new way of doing things is the AI design assistants, right? Where you can now come in and you can upload a photo and make changes without having to train for 30 minutes on 5 or 6 photos of yours. One photo, change it, good to go, right? Pet stylizer, like instead of like training like a pet here, this design assistant is the future, right? Better focus our efforts there. Same thing with product photos. Back in the day, you would have to go upload photos, train yourself, and then put another product, and then have you hold the product. Waste of time. Now you just go product photos, put one photo of a model, you, whoever, another photo of a perfume bottle, whatever, good to go, correct? Same thing with storybooks, right? What's happening right now? One of the things that I know, I hear you, you're going to say, okay, consistent character storybooks. Artistly was the first product ever in the industry. Others can copy they cannot imitate the best, right? We created the storybook concept, right? Why is it so powerful? Because now you can actually create it for publishing on Etsy, or create physical books with Kindle, or even ebooks, whatever. But the thing is, since we were the first ones to create the storybook, and you see how you have number of pages here, and we go up to 30, we will be the first and only ones who can do 50 and 100 as well down the line. So when we say Artistly V7, being able to generate 50 pages or 100 pages is an impossible task, even for the best of best company, whether it's Google, whether it's OpenAI, whoever it might be. Why? Because there's specific problems you're going to face once you hit past 30, past 50, past 100 at once. You can generate 10 at a time, 10 at a time, okay. But you're going to face consistency issues. You're going to face all kinds of other stuff, right? Hallucination problems with AI, whatever, right? Because there's different challenges that come with it. So what I'm trying to say is that we hear you when you post in our group, when you send us an email to our support team, which by the way is our support email here. Let's say when you post stuff, or in this live chat, like live stream, you posted some questions here. The point I'm making is this appears like an easy thing. Like in the back end, let's say in our software, we can tweak it to say 40. But if it doesn't generate it properly, what's the point? Sounds good in theory, but in practice, it's useless, right? If it has issues. So what we are trying to do is there's so much other stuff we want to do, okay, with Artistly going forward. And now that we have the foundations right, we can focus on it. You see how we have the book title, book author stuff we can do. One other thing that we want to really make better is the bulk actions, okay? This is where, for example, right now you can just go in and choose from your library, and let's say you wanted to remove a background of an image. Let's say you wanted to remove a background of this lady's image. You select, right? This is white background. You can now click here, for example, and remove background. After you remove background, you want to upscale the image, right? Or face swap or colorize, whatever. And you can create a workflow, right? One by one by one. So this right here, we want to build on top of this because of what's working for us in our own business, where we know what needs to be done for e-commerce, what needs to be done, for example, for Kindle publishing, which is this 300 DPI, correct? So what our plan is down the line is, let's say, for example, this 300 DPI, let me select that for you, this thing right here. Let's say, for example, this is critical as a part of the storybooks. We're going to put this as a key feature for the storybook functionality, so you don't have to even come here to convert it, right? Why do we do it this way? Because not everybody needs 300 DPI, but the workflow will be easier if you can do it as a part of storybooks, right? So we want to make sure that we create these types of workflows for every major feature. So you'll have 5 or 6 steps to follow, and it's done. It's a production ready to generate revenue, or ready to publish to YouTube, or ready to publish to Instagram, Facebook, or any social media platform, ready to publish to Etsy, ready to publish to wherever you want, correct? And that only can happen if we can hear your feedback, and also we keep improving things that might not look really cool, right? Really hot. Like a hot feature would be this. Like, let's say, for example, a really cool, awesome feature is the one we did, like perfect as yes, but this one right here. Turn your child into a hero, right? That's awesome. Sounds cool. Really fun feature. Really awesome. I would love it. Your relatives will love it. Your friends who you share it with love it, right? But the not so hot feature is being able to convert it into 300 DPI, let's say, or upscaling it properly, or extending or colorizing it, or say, for example, making it more pages, making it more flexible. Not as sexy. It's a boring feature, you could say, correct? The thing is here, we're going to focus on that going forward. Okay. That means that when you have a feature suggestion, we'll hear you and we'll implement it. And we're going to keep updating it in this section here. Okay. Latest update section here. And that's what I wanted to mention. The other reason why we are doing this, also the idea behind that Artistly V7, right? We have users come in because we have 70,000 some users in our group and stuff, keep suggesting features. Some people will come and say, look, I want a doodle style animation or creepy vintage style for Halloween, right? Instead of us actually, trying to do what a ChatGPT or Google is trying to do, where we say, we don't care whether it can generate this well or not, because what we are focusing on is billions of users being able to use something. If it's rougher on the edges, not our problem, right? Because it's understandable. What we are saying is we've created this feature called AR Art Illustrator, where we have all these categories we keep adding, comic book illustration. So when you want a specific style that AI generically, like meaning you go into the this feature where AI Image Designer V6, and you cannot generate there. So in other words, let's say, let me highlight this so you understand. So normally we go into this AI Image Designer V6 to generate from a prompt image, but a style, it's not able to generate from a prompt like a clip art or like a painting, or let's say a specific style, origami, Japanese origami style, I don't know, right? We will add them here. And we've been adding and adding and adding. You see watercolor, crayon, manga, game characters, oil painting, mystic fantasy. So these are basically based on your feedback. It like out of all our users, maybe like 0.01% of users might want this mystic fantasy. We still hear you. We still want to make it possible. So we've custom built these specifically for you in these categories. So what I mean by Artistly V7, maybe we already cracked perfect text, long text, perfect thumbnails, perfect consistency in characters, storybooks. There's still a long way to go in being able to solve specific problems in specific industries and perfect what's already in there and make it even better and better in real life use cases. Okay. And that's how AI should be. AI shouldn't be like it sounds cool. Like just 2 years ago when we released our Disley, in the beginning, it should be 6 fingers, right? In the hand, you'd have 6 fingers. In text, you would have to generate 10 times to generate one good text, like just basic logo, right? And we used to say, me, Yash, we used to come here and we'd say, well, AI will get better. It's now 6 fingers. It's going to be 5.5 fingers in 2 months, and then 5 fingers in like whenever in 6 months. Now it's not acceptable, right? You have to generate 5 fingers every single time. You got to generate perfect text. It's time for reality to kick in and usability and use cases to matter, correct? You got to drink your own Kool-Aid. When you're trying to generate a thumbnail, AI should be able to generate it perfectly the first time. So we're getting to that stage now. So if that is the case, that's what we're going to be focusing on with V7 and going forward. It's to all the features we already have, instead of trying to create the new, really awesome, brand new, cool thing, which we will obviously do. It'll be more so focused on your feedback, even if it's the most obscure stuff like hand knitted style. You see this? Well, we're going to focus on that as well. Okay. Yes, you're seeing anything you want to add in? Then we'll call it a day here, and then people can watch the replay.
Nope, I think everyone is excited to get their hands on versions 6, and as you already sent the support tickets, the support team will enable it. As we already said. So probably tomorrow, day after tomorrow, when the time you're doing it, again, as it's 24 hours, you will get that perfect text. Super excited to share your amazing, see your amazing creations. Make sure you join the Facebook group, the Facebook group that we have specifically, for Artistly as well, to share your feedback, to share your comments, thoughts, and all that. I'll keep checking in every single day. It's like my daily thing, right? And get to the final things. Thank you so very much. It's almost 2.5 hours. It goes like this, crazy. So really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for spending your precious time with us. I really appreciate it. And just like always, any tips, advice, suggestions, criticism, openly accepted. Let's fix it together. Let's build it together and let's grow together. So I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so very much. And I'll talk to you in the next webinar and next office hours, whatever we call it. And it's so great to spend this precious time with you. Make sure to take care of your health and your family. In the meantime, we'll talk to you in the next one.
Yeah, and just last thing, if you did not get any answers to the questions you got in the chat, let's say any technical issues you're having, let us know at support@artistry.ai. Okay, we have a team ready to go. Maybe we can't troubleshoot a YouTube comment question specifically, but obviously, if it's something our team knows, we can go into your account and check what's possible, right? Because we have different tools that we can go and troubleshoot issues specific to different accounts, and might be something only you're facing and all the others, or maybe it's something you're facing but others are facing too, and you're the only one who mentioned. Either way, we'll be able to solve it much sooner. As I said, our team works 7 days a week, not 24 hours. It's more like 16 hours a day in different time zones. So 16 to 18 hours a day. So we do have people working on Saturday and Sunday as well. So don't worry. Either way, even if you send it tonight, tomorrow night, whatever, you'll still get it. Maybe not as fast as a Monday or a Tuesday, but it's still, you will get a response within a few hours max. Okay. The goal is within 24 hours or less, we're going to receive a response most of the time. If you have anything specific for Yash here or me, address it in our support desk as well here. Okay. We do monitor our Facebook group and stuff, obviously, but sometimes we might miss your comment underneath a nested comment or something where you posted a question and, it disappeared by the time you even logged into Facebook and could see it. So again, say, okay, this is specifically for Paul Pono or for Yash or whoever from Artistly or Sid or Ali or whoever from our team. Please, can you solve this issue or whatever? We'll be happy to do so. Finally, after this replay is done, you'll see the comment section in YouTube, right? Don't be afraid to ask us questions there as well. We do check the comment section as well from time to time, not like every hour, but at least once every 48 hours or so. So if something you wanted, like as an aside, like a suggestion on how to improve the live training, or as an aside, you're like in minute number 39, Paul, you kind of mentioned something, you didn't address it, something like that, right? You just let me know in the comment section. Maybe it'll be a benefit for everybody as well. Okay. So hope that is clear. Thank you so much for being here. Wish you all the best. See you in our next training series. Okay, it'll be next week. Around the same time this one was, same day as well. Okay, Fridays we do it. So watch out for that one. And as I said, we have other impromptu trainings, office hours we can keep doing from time to time as well. But every Friday we'll do it. So that one will be again next week for you too. So have a good weekend. I know we have the Labor Day weekend here, the big one here. So hope you're celebrating. If you're in North America, like I am. So, okay. So have a good Labor Day weekend if you're doing so. Enjoy the long weekend. All right. So thanks again. Take care, everybody.